All right, Hardly Heroes, boys. What are we doing today? Where are
So I
we?
think we're waking up in our house after a night eating some stale bread and quite a traumatic experience at the hands of the Redcoats. And as the sun rises and I'm watching it over my charge pigeon sleep peacefully, my mind goes to what on earth are we going to do next? And do we just leave things well alone? Or do we seize this chance, this once in a lifetime opportunity to maybe steal that key and find out what's in that basement?
So did we take another day after the Redcoats visited us in the morning? Or are we...
I think we're the next morning. I mean, we can take another day.
Yeah,
because that's what I'm asking. Yeah. They visited us like in the morning.
And then it took all day to like uncover bodies. Maybe not all day, but it took some time to uncover bodies and everything. And then they bounced, and then you cleaned clothes that were like covered in filth and crap. Right. And I think you slept that night.
Can I get 1 HP for rest of this?
It was Nick who dug up the body, right?
Nick was the one who dug, yeah.
Yeah, so I think you're good to get an HP.
Okay. I'll take 9 HP.
As long as we're looking at HPs and the maps, I think this is the latest rendition of this map. You'll see that it has, on the right side, it has some additional labels here to help you understand the layout of the city just a little bit better. And this is going to be our quick and dirty reading of this. So right around here is ground level. The first 30 feet of the city, so-called city, is the outer city. There's 3-story sections. There's some areas that are a little higher than 3 stories, and there are areas that are a little lower, but you could say the outer city is roughly a 3-story section, or 30-foot section. The walls of the inner city go up to about 50 feet of height, and then the taller buildings in the inner city, like the castle in the inner city, stretch all the way up to 75 feet in height. Going down, the first 25 feet or so are the tunnels and basements. Then you've got like a little water layer that's about 15 feet in height, going down to minus 40 feet. Then you've got the dungeons that go down to minus 70 feet, the lairs that go down to minus 110, and then the pits that no one really knows how deep they go.
Just want to confirm, you are recording?
I am recording, yes. Good
cool.
check.
Right, thank you.
Excellent. Sorry. Well, no, that's good. Always double check.
I can see you've added in the key points of location as well.
House, the Harrow Way, the Old Vic.
Nice.
And
as we come up with locations, I will try to add them to the map. We might have to change fonts and colors if the map gets a little bit more busy. So we might occasionally do like, hey everyone, the map's been updated again, and like a quick check-in. But other than that,
a living document.
Not like the Constitution.
No, that doesn't get changed.
Except for all the updates to it. Yeah. Like the Bill of Rights. So, plan is to go to Old Vic in the morning. You sleep.
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, wait, not in the morning. It's weird to go to the pub in the morning, right?
The next day, then.
I think we're
on the morrow.
Next day, yes. On the morrow, yes. Yes, I think in the morning we should maybe. So I think this is what Luther is thinking about as he's waiting for Pigeon to wake up. Maybe the day is best spent in a vain attempt at reconnaissance. We could maybe just go and walk around the Copperheads area. Is that likely to get us in trouble? We're not gang members, so we should be fine to just wander around, right?
Yeah, you can walk around the city. It's possible that someone might try to mug you, but like that's the possibility that exists every day in this city.
Yeah, it's no more dangerous than walking around where we live.
Pigeon will mosey downstairs and look at Luther, and Luther will hear a rumbling of the tummy, and he'll say, I'm hungry, Luther. Can we get food? Do we have money?
Yeah. You and me both, kid. Luther reaches into his pocket, throws some coins down on the table in front of him. He has 1 gold piece, 2 silver pieces, and 5 copper pieces.
They took my money.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've got enough to eat for today, I think. What do you, why don't you, when you get dressed and get out to the market and get some potatoes and some bread? Maybe an egg.
What was the shop that was nearby?
Raj's.
Raj. Can't we get Raj's today?
This is I point to the table and say, I don't think so. Not today, Pigeon. Maybe when we find out what's in that basement.
Kind of walk over slowly, and I'll grab the little coins.
I take the gold back and leave him with the silver and the copper to buy food.
Yep. I'll be back. And Pigeon will walk out, like, sullenly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to the corner, or to the market, and I'll grab some stale bread and some sprouting potatoes, and maybe, like, just some, like, onions that are, like, about to go bad, you know?
Yeah.
When he leaves, I would like to go and pay a visit to Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can go get your bread and your sprouting potatoes and your moldy cheese, and you can go visit Mark, the next door neighbor with whom you had that altercation, who you were bullying as a proxy for bullying the old woman.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah, so when Pigeon leaves, I give it a couple of minutes. I know, we live relatively... I assume he's going to the green area in the map, in the redcoat zone, or would we have a market that we could go to?
You're going to have a closer market. If you wanted to get like the freshest and highest quality fruits and vegetables, you would go to the green zone. In your case, you're just trying to buy whatever. So the food that has been bought from the green zone a couple days ago and then has been repurposed and resold in the other areas.
I ask because I'd like to just get an idea of how long he's going to be gone for.
Oh, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, okay. So I give
Pigeon
it a few
will
minutes,
probably be out there for like 30 minutes. He's gonna walk slow. He's gonna try and find a good deal. He's like that kid where he knows we're having money problems at home, and he's really trying to maybe even swipe a piece of bread if no one's looking. He's trying to do a little extra.
Mm-hmm. Trying to keep everything nice and cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, what I will do instead is I know that Mark, he tends to goes to the market or whatever at some point in the morning usually. So I'm going to try and wait for him to leave his house and then catch up with him on the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why don't you just roll me the randomly going to run into somebody? Because, what do we know about Mark? Maybe he gets up really early to go work a job somewhere at the crack of dawn. Maybe Mark gets up late because he doesn't have anything going on in his life.
Probably. He's a loser, yeah.
He's a loser, yeah.
There's a chance that he's around. There's a chance that he's not. So
if it's not right now, I'll just do this the next time I see him in the street. I think it's important that this happens out in the open. So I'll roll a d20, I think. You can determine. Oh, that's too many R's. Okay, so he's not here now.
No, you go looking for Mark and
just missed him.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go back in the house and wait. I start heating up, building a fire to cook the food or whatever.
Okay. Yep. Time passes. MrMouton will return.
Now you're back. Yeah, get in here. I'm starving. What did you get?
I'll open the bag and you'll see 4 potatoes that are sprouting, there's shit coming off of them. 1 onion that is pretty nice. 2 carrots that are definitely moldy, and 1/2 of a loaf of bread.
Nice.
Fantastic. So I will make like a hash thing. I'm going to chop the potatoes up. Salvage what I can of the carrots. Chop up the onion. Fry it all off in a cast iron pan. Wait, actually, what fat would I have access to? Because there's no meat fat, because we barely have any meat.
Really no oil either, right?
Could we get vegetable oil?
Yeah, I think you probably got you either have some lard on hand, but maybe not. You're probably stuck with whatever vegetable oils you've got.
Or shortening is maybe what we would use, which I don't even think you'll know what that is, but that's kind of like
vegetable. Shortening is the rebranding of lard after they started calling people lard asses, and then they changed the name to shortening.
Oh, really?
That's the mythology that I was told. I don't know how true that is, but that's the story that was handed down to me by my father.
Well, anyway, I cook up it's decent actually. It's salty. It's got potatoes and onions in it. Could be doing with some garlic. A fried egg would be fantastic, but we'll make do with what we've got.
We should get some chickens for the backyard.
It's expensive to buy a chicken.
I know, yeah. Not right now, but in the future, it'd be nice.
If we get chickens, Pigeon, you're gonna be responsible for looking after them.
Yeah.
You'll probably kill them.
at the dinner table, or as we're about to eat, like I assume, like you split the piece of bread in half.
Mm.
Okay, Pigeon will like.
Yeah, but I take the bigger piece, obviously.
Yeah, he'll like push over the small piece. I ate the other half on the way here.
Really?
Yeah, I was hungry.
Right.
Yeah, he'll let you have it. Yeah, I eat it. It's good.
All right.
It's a fine meal.
It's not bad. So as we finished eating, I'll say, all right, Pigeon, I know that you're not used to thinking about things like this, but we're going to have to work out what we're going to do here. There's two paths. We can pretend we never went to that place in Harroway, never saw that basement, pretend we don't know about this key, forget about this and just go back to our normal lives. Or we could do something about it. We could head to that part of town. We could try and see what Nero's up to, see if we can't work out where that key is. Maybe you could even get your hands on it. We could go back to Harroway and see what's down there.
Maybe we could break into Nero's room.
That's if Nero's got it. Remember, there was somebody else with him as well. Might not be Nero that's got the key. Might be he's already passed it off to the higher-ups. So I'm thinking we could go around there this morning, walk around near the Old Vic, see if we can't hear anything, see if we can spot Nero. And then after that, I'm sure if we get a few drinks in there this evening, we'll see him at some point.
Yeah. Do we have the money for drinks?
I take out the gold piece. Put it down. You get any change?
Shake my head.
Yeah, I'm deleting those coins. Is that reasonable, Neil? 2 silver and 5 copper for those vegetables? I feel like that's more than
That's going to be part of your monthly payments.
Oh, okay.
So don't worry about paying out of your existing cash for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say, yeah, I have change, and I'll hand you over the 2 silver and whatever. Yeah.
Enough to buy a few drinks at least. If we drink slow. Maybe we can get a shandy.
What are we gonna do for money, Luther?
What do you mean?
Well, rent's coming up, right?
Rent's always coming up. I mean, I don't know, I could find some work building. I'm sure you could, get a job at one of the stalls down the market, something like that. But, without your mum around, we're going to have to put our fingers to work to make some gold here because, fortunately, neither of us possess her skill set, if you know what I mean.
When you bring up my mom, Pigeon gets, sad and kind of quiet at the table. That's it.
Okay. Well, the day will pass on. You'll make your food, you'll kill some time, and you can begin to get ready to head down to the Old Vic. What do we know about the Old Vic? Tell us, Nick.
It's just a pub in that area. It used to be called the Black Horse, but when the Copperheads took over, they renamed it the Old Vic after an important person from Copper Hill.
Victor,
called Victor. Yeah, so it's now called the Old Vic because Victor died in the in the refugee march from Copperhead. I think he got killed by a giant ant. So the story goes. But
notably
so
inside Old Vic, there is dancing ladies, and it's a bit of a a whorehouse. So if you're ever looking for a lady for money, you can go there, and they're for hire.
Yes, and that's probably why I've spent so much time there. Checking in on
my mom used to work there.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, we're beating around the bush, but that's
legend. Yeah, legend of the Old Vic. And when I go in, I get condolences. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think we want to go a bit earlier, Neil, and just kind of walk around, hang out on the street, kind of see what's going on.
All right.
Do a bit of reconnaissance.
Yeah. You can go hang out in the area around that. You can go to the main drag, the big ring that runs around the inner city. I'm sorry, the outer city. And just walk through the slums. The area in this... Well, I think I can just do a real quick...
We should say that we're not dressed in leather armor and or chainmail. Are you carrying your knives?
Yeah, just my dagger.
I have my dagger and my rope.
Okay, but you are dressed in, player clothing. Long sleeves, loose clothes. Yep.
My rope is like around me, kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know how fucking...
Yeah, it's like a bandolier around you.
It's like a bandolier around me, yep.
Perfect. Here is just a vague representation of the area that we're in. You can see that the city's not in great condition. Some of these rooftops need repairs. The tiles on the floor, the paving stones are all fucked up. There's little bits of broken stuff sometimes in the street. The things that are supposed to be there are sometimes a little knocked over. There's some doors that are a little battered down. There's the occasional, abandoned or burnt out house where a small fire got started and then people just abandoned it because it's easier to just move into another house than it is to rebuild an existing piece of infrastructure.
Yeah. And there's like people on the streets, is there? Like beggars.
Yeah.
Does Luther remember a time where the city was like in pristine condition, or has like this area always kind of been like a little bit of a shithole,
How old are you, Luther?
39.
How old are you, Pigeon?
19.
Okay. Let me take a look at the exact timeline here. Is this the... Oh,
the
no,
deep
it's just...
lore.
Yeah. Well, I have so many timelines here. It's hard to find the right one. No. Timeline. Toss dates. Where's my timeline of important events? Calendar. Oh, it's not called timeline. It's called calendar. Excellent. So Eridon falls in... Let's see. Here we go. Demons. That's 1510. And I think we are set in the year of...
Year of our Lord. 1516.
Amen, brother.
I think we're actually 1517.
Okay.
Nope, 1518. 1518.
Okay.
There we go.
Damn.
So, Stromheim fell 8 years ago. So you would have been a young kid at that point in time.
But I remember it then.
Yeah, you definitely remember the
good
time when it
times.
was the great city. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, you watched it fall pretty hard. Okay.
So I think probably as well, like walking through, I like sort of tell stories about memories of the streets and the good times to Pigeon, before everything went to shit. We probably walk past some, I'm imagining the streets being like dead busy, there's like people throwing buckets of like shit out the windows, there's beggars on the streets, there's like fires burning, there's like kids running around begging for food.
Yeah, there's also some semblance of actual survival going on here. Like there are proper shops that are opened up. There are restaurants. Like even though it is hard times and you are in sort of a dingy part of the city, it's not complete waste and squalor, right? You definitely have the people without, but you also have the people who are still holding on. The guy who's still got that pottery shop, and maybe there's like a door guard now, and there's like, boards nailed across the windows that you can't actually get into the windows. But the pottery shop's still open, and there's still people who have money, and there's still people who have resources. Like there's a restaurant, and if you guys went in there, you might get shooed out because you look a little bit dingy and scummy, but there's people in there having a good time. And over there, up on that 3-story building, there's a couple of people having a romantic candlelit dinner, with the squalor going on down below them. The city's still filled with, with all the aspects of society.
Would that be like the people up there? Like, is that like the nobles like coming over here to have? Okay.
No. That's just like whoever is in the local area who still has some money, and they're having like a nice romantic evening between the two of them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I take us on a walk past the areas that I know that the copperheads tend to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get too close to cause any trouble, but there's probably people selling drugs and things like that. For the copperheads, selling Starleaf and stuff.
Yeah.
Is Nero like a made man? Sorry, or is he more like an affiliate with the copperheads? You know.
Nero is one of the lower ranking members. We don't quite have the like made man concept. He is a member of the Copperhead gang.
He's a member.
And if you fuck him, they'll probably come after you because assault against one of them is assault against all of them. But at the same time, he doesn't hold like a ton of power. It's definitely not the Italian mafia made man vibe. As for the concept of drugs, there's no illegality of drugs, right? Nixon never came to power in this world. Drugs are fine. They're around, but also like it's not such a like booze is the primary drug. You can find other things, but booze you can make pretty easily. And
that's not something that the criminal gangs are involved in, then.
I'm sure that they have a hand in all the local bars. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we go to the areas where they tend to hang out, So if this is the Sopranos, I walk past the meat shop. I walk past the strip club.
Yep. And sure enough, if you're walking through Copperhead territory, you will see some openly affiliated members hanging out. And then you'll see...
How are they dressed?
They're dressed similar to you. They've got mostly longer sleeves, loose clothes. Oftentimes they'll have like embroidered copper on their lapels and on like their cuffs and on their collars, but not all of them can afford such fine, embroidery on their clothes. Some of the younger, lower class, less affluent, less thrifty, less intelligent members who don't use their money well might just be taking all their money and drinking it immediately, and others who are bigger players in the game will spend their money on clothing.
For these lower ranking people, and is there any discernible sort of costume or outfit element that signals them out as a copperhead?
Not necessarily. They're not as uniform. The Slayers all have uniforms, and you can spot a Slayer pretty much anywhere. The Copperhead gang is, and the Redcoats definitely. The Copperheads are a little bit more mixed. Like, you could sit down next to someone who you think is a civilian, and they could totally be like a lower ranking Copperhead, and you wouldn't know about it. In order to know...
How big is the gang? Like, is somebody in the gang likely to know every other person in the gang or not?
It's unlikely that any one person would know every single person, but like you've got your chain of command and your various structures. So if you run into someone and you don't know them and you're both claiming to be gang members, like each person could say who they work for, and then you could like, okay, I do know that person, and then just based on like you can have a conversation and you can be like, yeah, those are the details that only one of our people would know. You can use your thieves' cant and your just cultural knowledge to telegraph that you are a member or not a member. So if you wanted to fake, for example, being a Copperhead to somebody else who is a Copperhead, you might get, 5 sentences into that conversation before they realize that you're full of shit.
Currently.
Yeah, because they'll have secret handshakes, they'll have slang, and this stuff like is constantly evolving. It's not like there's the one secret handshake that lasts for 1,000 years. It's just it's an ongoing culture that's constantly changing. And as people die off or get captured or as things get discovered, new tools of identification come out. So it'd be extremely difficult to pretend to be a member of the Copperheads, and it would also be extremely difficult to know 100% for certain that anyone is or is not a member.
Okay.
Yeah. As we're walking around, then I'm going to try and pick up anything like that I can. Specific words that get used, handshakes, people's names that are getting referenced. Anything like that I can pick up would be useful.
Yeah, I want to use like as we're walking around and I guess looking at people, if there's 2 Copperheads that I can point out, right, and they're having like an in-depth conversation, I want to try to use my lip reading skill.
Okay.
Nice. That's good. In fact, I didn't realize you had that, but that's perfect.
Let me pull it up because I want to give you the... Oh, fuck, where is this?
The character can understand the speech of those he can see but not hear. When this proficiency is chosen, the player must specify what language, common. To use the proficiency, you must be within 30 feet and be able to see him speak. You make a check. If you fail, you learn nothing. If you succeed, 70% of the conversation is understood.
Perfect.
Yeah, so give me a check.
Here you go. 33.
Yeah. So as you're walking around, looking for stuff, checking out people, just perusing the streets, you'll see that you get the looks of people walking by, appropriate for your style of dress, signaling that you're either a player in the game or you've got some resources. That's unlikely on any given day that you're going to be mugged, but eventually you'll hit that chance, right? Today's not the day, though. Today's not the day.
Okay. Cool.
But what you do notice is that these folks are having pretty ordinary conversations. You see a pair of people with copper lapels, signifying that they are at least prudent, if not established players in the Copperhead gang. And you can pause with Luther and have him sort of stand in front of you so you can look over his shoulder to read the guy's lips, but make it look like you're looking at Luther, so you're not just openly gawking. And even though you got the big bulging eyes, people don't seem to notice your lip reading in this moment. But the conversation with the gang members that you can read appears to be pretty ordinary. Just how's it going? Oh, this chick I saw the other night at the Old Vic, she had her blah, blah, blah. Just boys shooting the shit about nothing in particular. It doesn't appear that there's any, pressing matters. Right, yeah, there's nothing urgently pressing. There's nothing that's hot on the lips of the people. Yeah. It appears to be an ordinary, quiet day in the city of Stromheim.
Seems to be pretty ordinary, Luther. They're just talking about girls.
Yeah? Well, we got all day. Maybe we can, if you can do that when we find Nero in the bar later, that might be useful.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at it.
Let's keep an eye out. So, I think we do this for a while, Neil. We'll move on from the same spot after a bit, obviously, so as not to be too suspicious. But I'm assuming these people are all over the city, so we spend until, say, 6, 7 o'clock tonight doing this when we can go to the pub.
Yeah, you walk around, you take in the sights, you take in the sounds, you take in the smells. Oh, do you take in the smells? And, yeah, it smells like decay more than shit. You've got rotting produce, dying things here and there, just, disintegrating wood over time. There's plenty of fungal spores in the atmosphere as the mold takes everything eventually. Everything. The mold comes for everything, yeah.
As we're walking around, I'll tell Luther,
you're always telling me how good this city used to be. It'd be nice if maybe we could, fix up this little area, or maybe our area.
What, you and I?
If not us, who else?
I shrug.
The Queen? It's not our job, son.
She's dead.
You sure about that? There's always a queen somewhere, or a king, or a fucking emperor, or there's always somebody at the top of the chain looking to kick shit down to the rest of us. Trust me.
I'm tired of being at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, me too.
Yeah,
the day goes.
Yeah.
The day goes more or less as we had earlier.
Human half of this area, kid.
The lip readings get more or less the same results. People are just chilling and talking about their shit. Eventually it starts to rain, and you'll take shelter under some sort of awning, maybe in an abandoned building here where there's a couple of other people just waiting for the rain to pass. It usually doesn't rain for more than, 5 or 6 hours at a time, so you can just chill here for a bit. But eventually...
Sorry, I was going to say, when we go to the bar, and I'm going to lip read there probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to try to do is for the first third of the conversation that I want to lip read, I want to do it to where, I don't know how, let me try and explain. I currently have a 70% chance to get everything, but I want to be so inconspicuous. For the first third, I want to just kind of see if I can do it, see if they're looking at me, maybe get 20% of what's going on, and then look away, and then turn back And if I get the vibe that they're not gonna like catch on, or they're not noticing what I'm doing, then I'd like to start the lip reading. So I'm basically asking,
I think that's just rolled into the check in
that's just
general.
rolled into it?
Yeah,
Perfect.
we don't
Okay.
need to break out subfunctions.
Perfect.
If you roll badly enough, then I'll probably roll for some sort of they spot you. If you kill the roll, then something like that. But otherwise, yeah. Okay. Evening draws on. It's time you decide to make your way to the Old Vic.
Yes.
The rain
I'm famous here.
is still coming down a little bit. You say you're famous here because your mother works here, so everyone here is going to recognize you.
Oh yeah, she used to bring me here. Who's gonna fucking watch me? My dad is either a deadbeat or dead. Uncle Luther wasn't around. Where's she gonna take her fucking 9-year-old kid when she's working at the Old Vic?
Yeah.
So some older people might know me. They're like, "Are you that kid? Like, is that you, Pigeon?" Yeah.
Historically speaking, having children around brothels was not an entirely uncommon thing, either as the children of the staff or as employees in one form or another. So children being in down and dirty poor brothels checks with historical accuracy.
Yep.
Nice. Maybe you used to like collect some cups and things like that,
Yeah, like my mom would be like, "Oh, help this man and get his cup. I'm gonna take him upstairs and like you clean his his fucking shit.
Yeah,
You clean the table off.
Inevitably, the what's her name? The person who runs it, not the matron. The matron would find a use for you. You can't just leave a kid sitting there all day. Give them something to do. Here's some dishes. Straighten these pillows. Learn how to fold sheets. Go carry water. Carrying water is mostly what you ended up doing. Since we don't have indoor plumbing, you just got to take a bucket down to the fountain, fill it up, and bring it back. And people spend fucking all day carrying water. It's a major facet of society that has completely evaporated in the modern era. No more carrying water for us. Thank God.
I hate this place, Luther. They always used to put me to work.
Yeah, well, bit of work never did anyone any harm, Pigeon. You're working tonight, remember? Yeah. Oh, yes, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to her, neither of us have ever had to have a proper job before, so,
Yeah, she used to say that you just leeched off her. I don't know.
Maybe she said that when she was drunk or she was mad, but, me and her, we had a good relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna set your tokens to not have any AC or HP bars on them, and you'll see that right now all of our tokens are set at 2.5 feet, a quarter of a square.
Got it.
In combat, you need 5 foot square in order to fight effectively.
Yeah, sure.
But when you're walking around day to day, no one keeps like a 5 foot aura of space around them. So while we're in the tavern, everyone's going to be using quarter squares for positions and movement. You've got yourselves right here. You can put yourself wherever you want. This right here is the Old Vic. These right here are stairs that go up, and then this one goes this way. This goes up, and then it goes this way on the floor above it. That's how you get upstairs in addition to this. There's also a basement, comes down here, and I think this basement might connect as well. Who can remember?
Yeah, so, we walk in, immediately scanning the place looking for Nero.
Yeah, Nero.
I'll give you a perception check.
Well, Nick is the one who spotted him, so I need Nick to give me... You don't even need to give me a perception. No check. You can walk around the place and find him or not find him, right? There's no way you can fail this unless he's hidden. He is not here right now. This is obviously a place he frequents. Maybe he'll show up later tonight. Maybe he's too busy looting someplace. Who knows? It might take a while to track down Nero. But you can at least start today.
And sit over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to look. I was looking for what's the best place for me to do lip reading. And
me too. But at least from this point, we can see the entrance. So when Nero comes in, we'll see him come in, and then. But actually, I think the best place for the lip reading could be depending on where they're sat. Here could see the bar, or here could see this table over there quite well.
I think this is a pretty good spot.
One of these.
If you want to do it here.
Well, but if he's facing the other way, you won't be able to see him. Yeah, so I think we gotta.
No, let's do it here.
Stay here for now.
All right.
And then.
Excellent.
If he comes in, so I remind. I don't know if they have this in America, but we get 2 pints of shandy, which is basically half beer, half lemonade.
We don't have that too often, though.
And we drink slow, so it's not too spend too much money here.
I'm gonna do the Portuguese thing where I want half beer and half wine. Specifically port wine.
You can't have that. That's too expensive. You'll drink half beer and half like
half beer and half water.
Well,
watered down beer.
Round here, you get watered down wine is the go-to wine. It's never the type of wine that you and I would have. It's like our water system's not great, and so we mix water and wine, and it kills most of the bacteria, and it's fine. Yeah. And so everyone drinks watered down wine. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, and your day will go all right. It's folded into your expenses as long as you're just drinking super cheap. Okay. We're just doing ordinary living. If you want to do anything extravagant, we'll pay for it.
So if we wanted to buy shots for like the whole fucking bar, that's
absolutely. But if you're doing like we're drinking cheap like we normally do, we're gonna fold it into our monthly expenses.
I'm gonna be a fucking alcoholic then.
Many of these people are. Give me a lip reading check as you're scanning the room, checking things out.
Big money hit.
Oh my god, 20. Natural 20.
Nice.
So you're getting 70% of the conversations happening all around you. And it doesn't take too long with that to realize that this isn't just, a place where a lot of the copperheads hang out. Like, you're pretty certain that, like, almost everybody in here right now
is a copperhead.
Is a copperhead. Yeah, you're looking around. You've got a little bit more wisdom with the years. It's been a little while since you've been here, and maybe you're viewing it with like fresh eyes for the first time. And you get a couple of people giving you like a nod of like, "Hey, I know you," or "I know your mom," something like that from across the room. When the waitresses come by to give you drinks, they call you by your name and plop your drinks down. And the growing feeling is that like, oh, this is just like a straight up owned and operated and almost like exclusively attended by. Yeah, it's like it's the local gang bar, and pretty much everybody in here is in that way. You can also see a lot of them are carrying daggers at their sides. A few of them are even carrying like short swords. A few of them are carrying short swords, meaning that maybe they are working as bouncers in the bar, like keeping it safe. Maybe they're just carrying short swords because this is such a concentration that you need a couple of people with real weapons just in case something happens. Like maybe it's local security.
Like the Slayers come pop off or whatever,
Yeah, or maybe it's just like a show of force. But you wouldn't see short swords in the street usually, but you do see short swords here right now.
One thing I want to just like let you know is I would like you to take complete control of like whoever my dad is. I don't think Pigeon ever really knew his dad. Yeah. His dad could be dead. His dad could be a nobody. His dad could be a somebody. Just wanted to give you creative,
Well, he's probably one of the people in here.
Yeah, my dad could. I think Pigeon's like looking around and he's like,
I guess my mom kind of worked for a gang.
As he's talking, I look over at the bartender cleaning a mug of ale, and he's got like bulging eyes and a sort of weird way about him. I think, I wonder.
Maybe.
Do I catch anything like of note, of interest, or is it just
No, it seems like it's a pretty mundane day-to-day chat. Lots of people just like razzing each other about this and that. People giving each other a lot of lip and very shit. British. It's the good old boys hanging out, having a good time. It's raining outside, and the two of you are in maybe a more solemn vibe, which is why we've got this like kind of down, soft, rainy music playing in the background. But the vibe of the people in the bar is a lot more like jovial and having a good time. It's a lot more similar to
Hey, so quick question, right? When I opened the door to find the body and seeing Nero rifling through, two questions. One, did Nero see me? And two, would they know that we are the people who lived at that house if they were to see us, basically? Because I'm wondering if the fact that no one said anything to us in the gang maybe means that Nero's keeping this quiet for now. Otherwise, maybe, given that everyone here knows Pigeon, maybe he would have said, we killed one Pigeon's doorstep.
Well, you had to make a check to recognize the people, so they would also have to make a check to recognize you if they were capable of doing so. As for whether or not they know that you live there, unless you're buds with someone, you probably don't know where they live. It's not impossible. Like maybe they've scoped it out. It's within the realm of possibility, but like low likelihood.
I just want to add something for when we walked in. I would have asked. I want to introduce this.
Mm-hmm.
Luther, the old marmot?
Which is basically me asking in our thieves' can't, like, do you see the target? So we're going to be using some of these things in our own little thieves' can't that we've made.
And I say, thinking on the fly, we're still holding out for a hero.
And then I'll say, after we sit down a little bit, like,
do you think he's in the apples and pears?
Maybe. But even if he is, he'll have to be down here eventually.
okay, then I'll go back to drinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your evening progresses. You slowly sip your beverages. You get some of the local entertainment coming over, asking if you're here to purchase wares or just have a drink. You know what I mean? And they'll move on. I don't think that's in your budget right now. There's some...
Pigeon's weird, so he would just be like,
Yeah, did you know my mom?
How long ago did she die?
Weeks ago?
Oh!
Yeah, no, a few months ago,
Few months.
What did she die from?
Probably syphilis or something.
AIDS, I don't know. Turbo AIDS.
They wouldn't have AIDS back then because... No, never mind.
Whew!
Yeah, my mom
well,
died at the age of, like, what, 44, Nick? Because she's a little bit older than you.
It's a little bit older than me, yeah. Yeah, I'd say she was like 43, 44.
Like 43,
but,
44,
Okay.
yeah.
But it was an illness that took her. It wasn't
Well,
like
yeah.
an injury or something. Okay.
No.
No, it was an illness.
Could have been an internal injury, I suppose.
It's more likely it was something like cholera. It doesn't have to be an STD or something like that.
But I'm sure that would have been quite a common cause of death for...
If only people had concepts of germ theory and could figure these things out, other than, he's got the consumption. Leech him more, boys.
Yeah, the doctor was trying to save her with bloodletting, but for some reason it didn't work this time. I don't know why.
Probably the wrong type of leech, you know?
Yeah,
You needed the blessed
exactly.
leeches. Yeah. But in a couple hours pass, right? You're being entertained by some of the locals. You can at least take a look as people walk around. It's pretty sights to be sure. Some of them will definitely recognize your mother. If she was in her 40s, she was definitely still working, but maybe had switched to more of a managerial role or a specialty role of some kind. But eventually, that 35 on your lip reading check will kick in, and you'll see some folks that have settled in. We're gonna just grab a couple of new tokens, and they settle in over at this spot right here. Let's just do a quick old zoom in. Yeah,
That's a good spot.
they settle in right here, and they start talking about, I don't know, some shit. That's not really that important. But after a little while, as you're scanning the room and checking everything out, you'll recognize that these two people are talking about Nero. You'll see this one in particular say to this other one something about Nero has been asking for you. I know your prices are sort of... And then you kind of lose a little bit. You only get 70%, and then it kicks back in again when, like, maybe his hand moves or maybe he enunciates a little bit more clearly. If you're looking for work, that might be something to go for. You lose a little bit of more conversation. You know, the guy, he's not always that trustworthy, but this seems like he might be onto something this time. And that's the gist of the conversation. Yeah, they use more words, but we're not gonna sit here for half an hour.
I'll whisper to Luther right after about 20 minutes of the conversation, so it's a lull of when I'm not getting it. And I will put my hand over my mouth, which could be a little bit weird. I'll try and look like I'm coughing or something like that, and I'll say,
Those two know about Nero.
What do you mean?
and then I'll just talk in a quiet tone. I won't do the hand thing. And
he's talking about a job. And he's saying Nero wants to give the one on the right a job. We should follow him.
Does he
Is
get
he,
up and leave? Oh, sorry, you're using a different target.
No, I was
Does
just
it look like he's saying yes?
Did I feel like he was saying like, yeah?
No, you were feeling more like one person's just letting the other know that someone's looking for him, not as like an in-between, just as like oh hey, I was talking with Jamie the other day and he said we should do a new intro for Save or Die. And you're like, oh yeah, that sounds like a cool thing, but like you're just going on with your conversation.
In the conversation, it sounded like he needed the money, so there was no definite, but I think he's gonna try for it.
All right, well, maybe we can find out where Nero lives. Good work.
Yeah, maybe we follow him.
Yeah, keep an eye on him.
All right. Yeah, you can hang out. These people stay for a couple of drinks, and then the one who had introduced, had told the other about Nero, decides to get up and heads upstairs with a lovely
That
staff
bitch
member.
Crystal who stole all your mum's clients.
Shit.
That bitch Crystal, yeah. And the two of them head upstairs. This one over here finishes their drinks. It's been a little while.
This
they
is the
get
guy
up.
he was talking to about
This is the one who was informed that Nero was looking for them to maybe use their skills. And after they finish their drink and set it down, they get up, take just a slight wobble on their step, and then begin to head for this back exit instead of the front exit.
Well, let's go.
I neck my pint, and I
Yeah.
will follow.
You go the front. You go the back. I'll go the front.
Okay. And yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah. You can follow. I think you will see, you're kind of following from behind. One of you will come up this way, the other will come up that way, and before too terribly long, the two of you will meet at this intersection. As this person, takes a stop in this alleyway to, piss on the side of this building right over here.
At that point, when we meet, right, and he's taking a piss, I think I'm going to we're probably talked about this, but I think we would swap. So now, he's gonna start tailing, and I'm gonna go and meet him at the next.
So you're gonna do something like this, while Nick does something like that.
Especially if he's taking a piss, I'm gonna be able to go up here and then be on the lookout.
Right.
And wait to see which way he's going. That's kind of the groove that we're gonna try and always hit.
And what about you, Nick?
Yeah.
What's your plan?
I lean against against this wall here, maybe sitting on the step, kind of just peering around the corner, watching him, waiting for him to move on.
Oh yeah, well you see, he takes his dick out, and he's taking a little while. He's shaking it to get it going, and sometimes it takes a little while. Sometimes the water pressure is not super high, and he's taking some time to make things happen.
Yeah.
You're just kind of standing there, watching with his dick in his hand, and eventually you can see the splatter of water hitting the wall and flowing down. You can hear a grumbling and oh yeah, that stuff. As the fluids flow. He takes his minute or two to take his piss, shakes off the rest, puts it back in his pants, and
This is for 2 minutes.
This guy had to go, man.
I don't know.
Holy shit! Good. You could
got a fire hose.
You could cook a 14th of a sausage in that time.
Isn't that the
A normal time to piss for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
No, it's 20 seconds. Sorry.
Yeah.
20. From house cats to elephants, most mammals take about 20 seconds to urinate. It's all up and down.
2 minutes.
Well, it probably took 2 minutes to.
You really need to look up an article to determine that. Have you not been?
There's an
have you
average
ever timed your
time.
piss?
I've never timed my piss, but I
I've
do
never timed
recall
my piss, yeah.
reading an average
make
time for
sense,
all
though.
animals to do. Yeah.
Now, why you think it takes 28 minutes to cook a sausage?
That's
Because
right,
you
he's just
My
got that
internal
shit.
time
spend
sense is
seconds
just
to a minute. Yeah,
my internal clock is just way bad.
it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay,
He takes
well,
2
anyway,
minutes
once
because it
he's-
takes a while to get going, and then
Yeah.
finishes up.
He's
puts
drunk.
his
He's having problems.
puts his
He's
stuff
shaking it
back in,
around.
and once he's done, he'll just turn and look at you directly, openly,
I give him
give
a
you
nod.
a what's up. Hey, buddy. He comes over and reaches out a hand. How's it going?
I look down at his hand for a second, and then I shake it, and I say, "Yeah, it's going good. Yourself?"
It's going better now.
Oh yeah, why's that?
He points to the wall.
Oh,
Didn't you see?
well, I've got better things to do than watch other men piss.
Oh, you're just standing there.
Yeah, and so's that fucker over there. We're all just standing around. I ain't got any money for beer, so what do you want me to do?
Fair point. Fair point.
Unless you're gonna buy me a drink.
I left it on the wall for you.
Hey, say,
Huh?
mate,
What?
you don't know any work around here, do you?
I mean, I got a house. You know how to fix roofs? It's leaking like a sumbitch.
I mean, I could give it a go. I'm thinking more, mundane work.
Oh, I think the Old Vic is hiring. You're, sort of pretty. You might be able to get some work there.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'll think about that.
And I'll start walking this way.
Yeah.
I'll, take a turn, and he'll start going up the street.
I motioned the pigeon to
will
go
start
back to
following him now. I've been moving as you've been talking, one by one.
Yeah.
So yeah, pigeon will start coming forward, and now I tail him.
It's like a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Don't let the gods see.
Yeah, he'll come up to here, and I think you're standing at that corner, and he comes to the edge, and he sees you, and you see him, and he gives you a wave.
Wait, he sees me?
Well, I mean, you saw him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
sees
give him
you,
a
you
wave
see
and
him.
turn to the right.
Yeah, and he'll then start heading up this way.
And then I'll trail on in.
Excellent. So now we're going into, it's not quite a chase, but it is a follow. It is
it's like a dance right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do some opposed checks. We're going to do, what we're going to use is your thief skills. Thief rebuild. So somebody here, I guess the two of you are taking turns. You're going to be making a hide check opposed by their perception check as you just walk through the streets, right? And if he's distracted or not really paying attention, he'll have a penalty to his perception check that's pretty severe. You're going to be in a state where you are reacting to his turning around and stopping and looking at things, but you're also like having plenty of time to search out for whatever cover you might need. So if we look at our thief skills hide
Nick,
section,
I rolled so well.
You get
bound to come to an end.
You get a modifier for how the reactionariness versus the preparedness of your cover. And since you're walking down a street, you can't like prepare a spot of cover, but you can kind of scout out pieces of cover ahead. But you're still going to have to react to it pretty quickly. So there's no penalty or bonus for the reactionary or preparedness of your cover. As for the amount of cover, it's a pretty run-down, beaten-up street filled with crap and shops and doorways and alleyways. So I'm going to give you a bonus of 2 for the amount of cover. The quality of cover is not great. Some of these things that you could hide behind are pretty small, and there are people around, and some of these entranceways are not that great, so a penalty or a bonus of 0 for the quality of cover. That gives you a total bonus of 2.
Got it.
Does he get any negatives because he's drunk? Yeah, you said that'd be on his end, though.
Yeah, that'd be on his side. I take it back. I've already calculated setting modifiers, and a city modifier is 6. I don't know how I ended up with 2.
6.
You're going to get a plus 6 to your cover.
Nice.
Cool. Here you go.
Right? Hold on, that can't be right.
Yeah, I can wait.
Village 2, city 6.
Given that this whole thing's in a city, you might want to be a bit more like bespoke on the checks, like you were just doing at the start.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the
I think this
check.
is a 4. I think this is a bonus of 4 to your hide check.
Cool.
All right.
And then it is evening, so I'm going to call it dim light. So he'll have at least a penalty of 2 to his spot check, and then if he's distracted or he's not really focused, then it'll be a half perception score as well. So each
20,
of you,
I'm at like 33, I think.
I'm at 19.
You're at 19. Yep. Okay. Excellent.
Fucking god at rolling right now.
You are literally killing it. Okay. And so then we will roll. Okay, you rolled a 19, Nick?
Yep.
Fantastic.
You were the one being weird anyways, so it makes sense if you
Yeah.
Yeah.
You follow this person until he ends up at a house somewhere. He goes up to the door. He pulls out a key from his pocket. He looks down one way. He begins to look the other way, and you guys take your hiding in cover. And he looks back at his door, puts the key in, unlocks it, steps inside, shuts the door behind him, and he's gone. But you know the exact building that he went into.
Yeah, that doesn't really help us, does it?
Well, probably not. I don't know.
I mean, we could try and follow him again tomorrow and hope that he goes to Nero's house, or we could go back to the tavern and see if Nero's there.
We know Nero's looking for him, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Neil. When I was getting the conversation, I guess this could just be me not remembering as well. You told me it. Was Nero looking for him, or was it more that Nero has a job and he's a good fit?
I think the words that you got were he's looking for you for work, something to that effect. But that could be that could have a lot of
connotations. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just say to Luther.
Well, Nero is looking for him. This is his house.
I tell you what, Pigeon. Why don't you when you go home, get some sleep. I'm gonna like find some rags around here or something. I'll hole up on the street, pretend to be homeless out here. I'll get some bread. I'll watch this place tonight. You come back here in the morning.
So I will go home, but on the way home, I want to do one last check through the Old Vic. So rather than just going home, I'll make a path down. I'll go through it, and I'm gonna do my own perception check for Nero inside.
Yeah. You can walk on through. Are you familiar with how Nero looks? You've been given a description of him, but I don't think you know him. So give me a charisma check to see if you can match his face.
Well, wait, hang on.
Description. Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't I do the charisma check because I'm the one? I'm giving the description as well. So
no, he's going to have to interpret your. Yeah, we could say you give a description, and if you pass your check, then he has a good description. I'm just going to assume you gave him a good description of the name, though. Okay. I'm assuming success on your part, and then he has to interpret that,
understand it.
Yeah. You look around, you don't see anything by that name. You can head home.
Cool. Yeah,
but Luther, you're gonna stay, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and get some ideally I'd bring a blanket from home, but I don't think I've got time for that. So I'm gonna try and find anything that'll keep me warm. I'm gonna pull up my jacket around me. I'm gonna sit down in a cozy corner, maybe on some broken crates or something like that, and I'll start asking people for change or food when they pass.
Yeah.
But I want to position myself so that I can see this guy's house.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be in the shade and stuff, so if he looks out the window, he's not seeing my face. You know.
Yeah. You can find a spot where you've got eyes on the house, but at least eyes on the front door, and you would not be, obviously visible to him, other than just another person on the streets.
And I make an effort to make myself look like someone who's living on the streets.
Easy peasy. Give me a disguise check, just to be unrecognized. If you want to do a full-fledged, I can pass as a beggar to someone who's truly looking at me. It would with a 31, it's probably fine. I'm not going to bother looking it up, but there are more complicated rules.
I'm a disguise master. Also, I'm a trained actor, don't you know?
True.
So. If anyone asks me, I'll start quoting Oliver Twist.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't take too terribly long. Maybe 2 hours pass when, sure enough, you see your friend, acquaintance, the guy you vaguely know, known as Nero, showing up to the house and giving a nice old on the door.
Is it a secret knock or just a knock?
I mean, it was just 3.
Cool.
Maybe that's the secret knock. No one would suspect it.
This guy's house is pretty small, I'm assuming.
It's one of these buildings that's 3 stories tall. It's probably as similar as you, where you've got a narrow thing, but 3 floors to it, maybe a basement. But also from the outside, maybe he's broken down the walls and it's actually a huge complex, but it looks like a small thing from the outside. It's the slums.
Do I see any light coming from the windows on any of the floors?
Yeah, there are lights in some of the windows. Not a bunch, but a few of them. To the left and to the right. Not the ones that you would suspect are associated with this door, though. Like, the neighbors might have some candles going. Is your
Yeah, like, I'm
expectation.
trying to work out if I can get the idea of, like, what floor he's, like, existing on right now.
No, he went in, and then there were no lights ever, and then you just sat down. So maybe you just went to bed, you know?
I wait for a little bit after Nero goes in to see what happens.
Yeah, well, Nero knocks again and then shouts. He calls out the name, Mickey! Mickey! And then a little bit later, he knocks again, and finally the door opens, and the same guy, looking bleary-eyed, looks at Nero and swings the door open, motions him in, and Nero steps on in.
Get your eavesdropping.
Yeah, so once the door's closed, there's two things I want to do. I want to try and work out what floor they're on. I'm assuming there is now going to be a light coming from somewhere, which would indicate where they're having their discussion. And if possible, I would like to try and eavesdrop through, a window, or just maybe through the door, or... I appreciate that that's not going to be easy, but that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Well, you're an observant fellow. You see that 2 minutes after entering, a new light comes on. It slowly begins to fill a room, but it's not one of the rooms directly above the doorway. It's one to the right on the second floor.
Okay, so he's merged two of the houses together.
He's merged two houses together, or maybe the layout's just a little different than expected. It's hard to know in a big city with slums like this that anything is possible in here.
And there's no obvious easy way for me to get to a second-story window. There's no one-story building next to the house or something like that.
The window below that has a little bit of an eave that hangs over so that the windows could be opened in rain without getting rain in the building. So you could, in theory, climb onto the eaves on the first floor and then be right below the window. But someone on the street would notice that you're just crouched on the eaves. Yeah. You're not entirely certain. Doesn't look like there's a good way.
The best thing I can get out of this is working out where Nero lives. So I think I'm going to maintain my disguise for now, and I will wait for Nero to leave and attempt to follow him back to his house.
Yeah, it takes only half an hour, and then the door opens again, or the light dims, the door opens. There's the guy named Mickey holding a candle on one of those little candle holders, and out Nero goes. The door shuts.
Do they shake hands or embrace each other or anything like that? Does it seem like a warm kind of farewell? Yeah,
that seems fairly warm. At least not cold.
Come to some agreements. Yeah,
that's you're hoping so, and that's definitely checks. It could definitely be that 100%.
Absolutely. So my plan now, if this goes ideal, I work out where Nero lives. I go back to my spot, and I wait for Pigeon to show up in the morning, and then in the morning he can follow Mickey and see what he does after speaking to Nero. But I'm going to try and work out where Nero lives by following him. Yeah.
Well, you follow Nero. We're going to do the same thing. I need you to make me a hide check versus Nero's perception check. You have the +4 for the complexity of the city.
Well, it's now nighttime as well.
Yes.
More of a negative on him, right?
That will decrease his visibility for spotting you, but also it's going to decrease the amount of cover that you have because now there's nobody else on the streets. So your bonus of 4 is going to go down to a bonus of 2, and his penalty of 2, I think, is going to go to a penalty of 4.
Okay, and I'm disguised at the same time.
Yeah.
As doing this, right? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
It's probably not going to recognize your face. Oh my God, you kill it. Not only do you roll a natural 20, but Nero rolls a natural 1.
Amazing.
And
he drops the key.
He walks home. Or he walks to this place, a spot in the slums in the Copperhead territory. And he goes to his house, we presume. He takes out a key, opens the door, heads on in, shuts the door.
He doesn't... is there other lights on in his house before he gets in there?
Nope.
And does he seem to talk to anyone? Like, does he say hello or anything when he opens the door or anything like that? It seems like I'm trying to work out if he lives alone.
He doesn't seem to say anything, but it's late. At this hour, who would be awake and waiting for him to come home?
Yeah. Can I gauge Nero's abilities?
Like his level or stats or something like that?
Yeah, I know we took gauge out of the thief skills, right? That was a thing for the new rebuild, but I would like to try and gauge his strength, basically. Yeah.
Give me a wisdom check.
I think that's a cool ability.
Yeah, I do as well. I got low wisdom, so I got a 10.
It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a dude walking down the street, and he's got a wool cloak wrapped around him because it's cold outside.
But those guys who were at my house last night, we were saying that they probably like level 2 or level 3 fighters. I'm thinking that the copperheads are more like they're rogues. They may be the same level, but they're probably not trained fighters. They're probably like thieves.
You would expect most of the copperheads to be the rogue, the thief subclass. There's probably a few of them that are otherwise. Like, just to take a moment to talk about the where is my enforce? Underworld. So generally speaking, the underworld, we've got enforcers. Those are more like straight up fighters. They could be fighter class, or maybe they're going to be rogues who are kitted for bullying things. You've got forgers. You've got handlers who are like pickpockets essentially. You've got muscle, and that's similar to enforcer, but that's a little bit different. You've got forgers. You've got picklocks, you've got runners, scouts, shot callers, smugglers, and second story men. Those are like the general subtypes of rogues that you would find around here. Most of these are actually going to be straight up thief classes. Some of them will be fighter classes, depending on who the person is. You would expect most of the criminals to be thief classes, though, and the occasional fighter class to be mixed in there.
So Nero, does he look like an enforcer? Like, is he like a big guy?
He's not a particularly big guy. No, he's a slenderish person. He's on that, starvation diet like everybody else. He doesn't look terribly tough. Mm-hmm.
Assassinate. Like, let's say I were to sneak up behind Nero as he's going into his house and try and backstab him.
Yeah.
How much damage am I looking at?
This is going to be a function of your level. So, when you assassinate, you're going to essentially assassinate is recreating critical hits. So on level 1 to 4, you will multiply the damage of your attack roll. Multiply, not add extra dice, but straight up multiply by 2. And then if you clear the target AC by 5, that becomes a 3. If you clear the AC by 10, it becomes a multiply by 4. If you clear by 15, it becomes a multiply by 5. So the higher you roll on your attack roll, the greater the multiplication does.
But I don't need to roll an 18 or higher to get crit bonuses.
No,
it's just
this is going to
5.
replace all critical rules.
And if I were to sneak up behind him, I'd be getting a +4, presumably, for back attack and surprise.
Yes.
So I'd be rolling at a +5.
Fucking
He's not wearing any armor, right? He's like AC 10.
Yeah, he'd be AC 10. Yeah.
Has the moment passed to do this, or is
Yes,
this still an option?
The moment has passed.
Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. But I'm thinking then, if I'm a level 2 thief, sneaking up behind someone and I roll relatively well, I could probably expect to kill another level 2 or 3 thief.
If you can make a 15, which is like a 50-50 shot of happening, you'd be doing D4 times 3 damage?
+1.
+1.
D4 +1 times 3.
The strength modifier. Yeah, we'll add the strength modifier.
That's good.
Usually static modifiers. Usually strength and magic get added at the end and are not part of.
Yeah, but you said it's not adding dice; it's multiplying the damage. You said so.
Yeah, multiply the damage rolled by. Yeah. So if you get D4 +1 is an average of 3.5 times 3. That's that's like 10 damage.
10 or 11 damage.
That's enough to kill.
Which is likely to kill. It's enough to kill me.
Yeah. If it doesn't kill them, they should at least be in a point where they're probably going to surrender, or fight back or run. Right. That's a huge amount of damage right off the bat. And if you roll max, That'd be 5 times 3. It's 15. That's enough to kill, even a 3rd level fighter.
Knowing now where Nero's house is, I'll go back.
Sorry, I have a quick question.
I go back to where I was before, outside Mickey's house.
Let's say Nick wanted to do this, right? Let's say he knocked on Nero's door and he went and hid, and he put like a bag of gold in front of it, right? When Nero goes to like go pick it up or whatever, he could probably get the assassinate off, yeah?
I don't want to
curious on,
say probably.
I feel like if you open the door and saw a bag of gold there, you'd be
that's
than
a super
bit
suspicious. That's a pretty suspicious action right there.
Unless they do that as like dead drops or whatever. Okay, cool. That's it.
Yeah. All right, but you go back to your hiding spot near Mickey's house.
And I wait for Pigeon in the morning.
Pigeon will finally make his way home. He'll sleep for a night.
Food for him in the morning.
You
And then
can
take
bring
another
food.
HP.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect.
All right. Next day, the two of you meet up near Mickey's house. Mickey sleeps in a little bit, or maybe he gets up and does stuff in the house, but he doesn't seem to be leaving by the time Pigeon arrives.
So in Pigeon, I thank him. Thanks, Pigeon, for the food. Cheers. So I had quite an interesting night. Not too long after you left, Nero turned up. He went inside, spoke to him for about half an hour, and then left. Seemed like they were on good terms, and I followed Nero home. So I give the address of his house. He might not know where that is, but he could find it if he needed to. So I give him Nero's address.
You'll see Pigeon's eyes kind of go wide as you're telling him this, wider, and he'll say,
You key? You get the key?
No, I didn't get the key, but I don't know. Maybe he lives alone. I did think about following in there and trying to kill him, but it seemed like that was too risky. What I think you should do is Mickey's probably accepted whatever job Nero gave him. So I'm going to go back home and get some sleep, but maybe you should keep an eye on Mickey today, see what he's up to. And maybe you can stop in and check on Nero as well, since you know where he's going to be.
Yeah.
Meet you back in the Old Vic tonight.
You described exactly what happened and like when you thought you had the chance to kill him or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna kill anyone because it's daytime. Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't do anything stupid. Just watch.
Just watch.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, but yeah, Pigeon. Whatever the shit Nero's got going on here with Mickey, it's got to be to do with this key. So I think we follow Mickey. We'll get to the bottom of this. I'll meet you back in the Vic tonight.
All right.
All right, I take my food that he's given me and head back home to go to sleep.
Yep. You go to sleep. Pigeon, you can watch. Mickey. Nick, you'll actually go home, sleep, wake up, and come back before Mickey makes an appearance. He doesn't show up until 5 in the afternoon. That's when he begins to leave. Yeah. So Nick, you'll be back with Pigeon. It'll have been a pretty boring time.
I don't think I go back to the house. I go to the Old Vic.
Okay.
Yeah. So Pigeon can deal with Mickey's situation how he likes, but I'm meeting him in the Old Vic later.
Okay. Cool. Well then, Pigeon. It's like 5 in the afternoon. The sun is, what season is it? We haven't picked the time of year, and nothing in this campaign so far has needed a time of year. So, MrMouton, why don't you roll me a d12 for the month, and Nick, roll me a d28 for the day that we started.
Nice.
December.
Uh-huh. Is it going to be Christmas? Wait, it should be a D31 then. No?
No, we're doing a 28-day month.
Cringe.
Come on,
what day's
Christmas.
What day's Christmas then?
There's no such thing as Christmas.
Boo! The 18th.
Okay, let's say it. Christmas is originally the celebration of Saturnalius, which is the year-end closing festival for people. It's not exactly, but it used to line up with the end of the year. Christmas is more or less originally a New Year's thing that was co-opted by the growing Christian Roman Empire in order to be like, hey, polytheistic Romans, why don't you just take your regular holidays and toss on a Christian holiday on top? And so Christmas in our world is going to be the same as New Year's. So that's the couple more days out. That would be the end of the month.
So it's Christmas in 10 days.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Christmas soon.
Christmas in 10 days, but you wouldn't call it Christmas.
You're doing the
You'd call
28 days.
We're doing 28 days.
We're doing a lunar calendar here. There's
No,
never had
you're doing-
Julius Caesar, I suppose.
We're not doing lunar. We're just doing 28 days. In the
Are
month.
you doing
We're-
28 days for each month, and then there's one
Yes.
day that's New
No.
Year's? That's the best. Oh, no.
Nope. 28 days per month, 12 months in the year, and that's the whole year, and that works perfectly with chronology. We're not doing this 365.425.
Luckily, the planets move in such a way, but it lines up perfectly.
Well, it was intelligently designed,
True.
unlike
That's the
this
difference.
piece of shit system that we've got here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you hear that chat? Neil saying that God isn't real. You traitorous heathen.
I'm saying if God is real, that God did not care about setting up a convenient calendar system for us.
You didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All right,
and
I
you know what?
follow
Wait, I'm sorry,
priorities.
if he's dropping the ball that early on in the process, no, what else has he dropped the ball on? Like further down the line and then developing the whole world.
You dropped the ball on making you.
Wow.
I follow Mickey.
Jesus. All right. You follow Mickey. He heads to a house.
Is
He
it
opens
the house
the-
that I kind of heard of?
I mean, maybe. It's a big fucking city. Give me a charisma
It's a
check.
city.
An intelligence
Oh,
check.
hey, hang on. I told him the address, so he's gonna know if that's that.
Yeah,
if that's
yeah,
nearest.
I'll-
Give me an
look at the
intelligence
address.
check and a charisma check. Oh, fuck.
The dumb
pigeon.
stats. That's how he's gonna know.
Pigeon! Oh, buddy. Pigeonal pal.
He doesn't need to pass a check to read an address.
Yes.
I can't read.
He can't read. The numbers are...
Numbers though. Yeah, the numbers might match up, but we don't know if the fucking words do.
Yeah. The numbers are pretty close. Nick told you he's on, building 357 on Mariposa Way, and here this guy's at a building that says like 355.
This is
Pretty
it.
close. Yeah, right? It's
Pigeon
got to be the
thinks it's
same
it,
thing.
yeah. It's
Yeah. Yeah. You don't recognize the guy that opens the door, but therein goes Mickey.
And he knocked or he had a key to open it?
No, he knocked, and then the door was
Okay.
answered, and then he went in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need a high check?
You're just hanging out in the streets, right?
I was following him, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You were following him. Yes, I do need a high check from you. Thank you.
30.
Oh my God, you guys are.
My God.
You guys are fucking murdering this game.
Oh,
Thief Masters.
Thief Masters.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's fine. No one seems to have noticed you, but he goes in and he chills inside, and like 10 minutes pass. You gonna hang? You gonna keep hanging?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang. This is
Yeah,
my job.
cool.
Should we be keeping track of like the times that we're rolling our skills and like actually doing it for XP reasons? I don't know. See if Thief 2E rebuild goes.
Ooh.
Because it's gonna be like a long RP heavy slow
Right.
campaign, and this is gonna
But
be
we're
one of the
also
only
going to be
ways.
doing like a lot of the. I don't think one should get XP for just like following someone in the streets.
Got it.
But maybe if it was a dangerous situation and you needed to hide and use your thief skills as part of survival, then I would be on board for it. But just like stalking people through the streets most of the time, I don't think is
Probably,
XP worthy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe stalking him one time was XP worthy is what I would probably argue. But if you're just gonna keep stalking him for like the next 30 hours and just keep
Yeah,
rolling,
I think
I would
a
say no,
successful
yeah.
stalking, like stalking for this whole chapter, will give you both,
Is-
or for this
yeah,
whole
XP.
this storyline will give you XP, but not each individual die roll. It's just too much.
Cool. That's fine.
Yeah, but he goes inside. 10 minutes waits. 20, 30, 40 minutes pass,
Wait.
something like that.
I just
Yeah.
want to say, like, are they sitting near a window? Can I lip read them? I will walk around the building to see if I can see him at all and like get some lip reading going.
No.
Okay,
No
cool.
one's near a building. And actually, shutters are shut on this building.
Close.
You can see lights inside, but the shutters are shut. You'll get some people talking to you or walking past you. Someone drops you a copper coin. Someone else kicks you. You know.
Someone kicks me.
Yeah.
Hey, don't kick me.
Yeah. They move on. They don't give a shit.
I kind of shake my fist at him.
You touch me again, I'll fuck you up.
Yeah. After 30 or 40 minutes or something, Mickey comes on back out and starts heading
Mickey?
away. Just Mickey.
Can you explain the with the interaction when they're leaving?
Oh, it's just, a door opening and someone stepping out and giving a wave, and the person on the inside giving a wave, and the door shuts.
I follow Mickey.
Done. You'll follow Mickey?
He was given a description of Nero.
Yeah.
Is maybe the guy he's talking to, Nero.
He made a charisma check and rolled a 16, so hard to take a look. You give a description.
I think it's Nero, and I think this is Nero's house.
Okay, yeah.
That's what's happening right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he can't read. The numbers are similar, but not quite. He can't quite piece the guy together based on the verbal description, but he thinks he's got the right guy. Mickey will then head, of all places, to the Old Vic. And so, Pigeon, you can follow him back there. We're just going to keep the same rules as before, not worry about it too much.
As he's walking, do I see him like, I don't know. Let's say I went to my friends and my buddy was like, hey, here's the key to the fucking castle, right? And they handed me it to go and be sneaky and open it or whatever, right? I would probably be checking it out on the way to wherever the fuck I'm going next. Like, just maybe like looking at it for a sec.
Oh, so you're like trying to see if he's pulling anything from his pockets? He's not.
Is he like, okay, cool.
No, he's just taking a stroll. Yeah, and he takes his time on his way there. It's not like a dead beeline. He walks, then he'll stop and chat up a friend for a minute. He'll, stop it and like look through the windows into a shop, considers going in, stops over at another place, gets like a little bowl of soup, scarfs that down, makes his way to the Old Vic. It takes a while, but he'll get there. By the time he gets there, it's getting on towards 7 or 8. Since it's the middle of December, it's dark by now. It's well dark by now. But we can head back on in to the Old Vic.
Shall we take a little few minute break? Bathroom?
A little 5-minute break?
Yeah. Perfect. Take a 5-minute break.
BRB.
Okay, everybody. So, you follow Mickey all the way back to the Old Vic.
Well, I already am.
You're already there. You've been sitting and chilling. You've had the entertainers coming up and talking to you for a little bit and then moving on when they see the quality of your coin. You've had some other people, just making chat with you. Maybe played a game of darts with someone.
Did you win?
Is darts a game of strength or dexterity?
It's a game of dexterity.
I don't win.
You lost.
Yeah.
I lose.
Yeah. But after a couple hours of chilling, you see Mickey come on in, and he heads right back to that same spot he was before. And then you see shortly after Pigeon waddling in with his pigeon eyes.
Yeah,
when
definitely hunched over.
When I'm sitting down and the guy sits down at his table, at some point he's going to cast a glance over at me. If I sort of catch his gaze, I'll give him a nod and raise my beer at him since we met last night.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that will be what happens. Yep. He'll be sitting
next to Luther and very specifically read that guy's lips if he starts talking to anyone.
Let's see. Where is good old Mickey going? Now, today he's by himself, so he just goes right up to the bar. And I think probably doesn't even notice you, or if he does, there's no eye contact made. And Pigeon, you can come and sit across from Luther, same side?
Same side, yeah.
All right.
Like
Two of you are looking at Mickey's back here.
I tailed him and he went to 355.
Oh, he went to the place? Okay. How long was he in there?
About 30 minutes.
And he came straight here?
Yeah. He didn't get out till like 5 though.
Well, I don't know. I say like when the sun starts going down or whatever.
It seems like he's gonna have a long night.
You want a drink?
I'll call over Crystal.
No. I'm gonna go to the bar.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I put my hand on.
I'll have a drink.
I finish my drink, Neil, and I get up and go to the bar. Yeah.
Yeah. You walk right up next to him, and he'll look over to you and go, "What's up?"
Hey, mate. You had a good day? 2 shandies, please, I say to the bartender as they walk past.
He looks you up and down, gives a one-shoulder, half-hearted shrug, and you can see that there's this column right here that's like between the two of you. And so he just like leans forward, putting the column
fucking loser.
You know, blocking you out of it. You're just some random fucker who, like, is talking to him, and he's obviously too cool to talk to you, so he puts the column between your faces.
Oh, that's how it is. I thought we were friends.
He leans back.
What
do you want?
You don't remember?
Yeah, you're the guy who was watching me piss.
Oh, I was just standing around,
Yeah.
Feeling a bit better today. I won some coins on a dog.
Nah.
You having a good day?
I've been having a good day. What do you want?
Buddy, I get the picture. No, you're all right. Enjoy your
No,
drink.
no, it's all right. You want to see me take a piss again? Just give me a couple of... Why don't you give me one of those shandies? You can go out and hold my dick for me this time.
That'll cost you extra.
You'll laugh at that
I
one.
take my drinks and walk back.
Yeah, all right. You've diffused the situation pretty well. He's got a good chuckle out of it, and he goes back to his thing. It all seems well.
He seems less friendly than last night.
I drink my drink, kind of stay quiet.
He knows me now. Maybe we shouldn't be seen together. I think I get up and I'll go and sit somewhere else, Neil.
All right. Do you drop off your drink?
I sit at this table. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Before you leave,
I got an idea.
Oh yeah. I say the same as I'm standing up to walk off.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go check out his house, and maybe I can, if there's a chance, unlock the back door and leave it unlocked.
Good idea. Yeah.
I'll get up and I'm gonna mosey on over to his house, Neil.
All right.
So I'll stay where I am then. If he's leaving, actually, I'll sit back down.
Perfect.
And I say to him, if it looks like he's coming back, I'll come and warn you.
And I'll mosey on over to his house, and I'm gonna do a little bit of reconnaissance first. I'm gonna check the front door. How's the street? Is it busy?
Yeah. It's evening time. It's not crazy busy, but there's definitely people about doing their things. Some people, hauling ox carts full of dung through the streets for compost, or maybe picking up after the horses. There's someone going around doing the collections of urine, because urine's a useful product. It's got all sorts of useful chemicals that people use for all sorts of things. And so if you piss in a jar, you can sell it once the jar gets to a certain height for a pretty good amount of money. It's a good way of making cash. And then that means everyone's got a piss jar, of course. But that does mean that someone's got the job of going around and collecting everyone's piss to go dump in the big piss vats. It's a busy street. Life is happening.
Street's busy. I look up to the house. Is there windows? Is there a balcony?
There are windows, but this section
They're
of
super
town,
glass, bigger glass.
On the ground floor, is thick glass in the windows. On the second and third floors, there are windows that have shutters pulled over them.
Okay.
And maybe behind the shutters there's glass, or maybe behind the shutters there's no glass. Actually, you would be able to tell this, because if there's glass behind the shutters, you're going to need some sort of mechanism to open the shutters from inside, or you'll need a big hook to open them from the outside. And if there's no glass, then you wouldn't see any mechanisms of any kind whatsoever. So on the second and third floors, you can see here that there's no rope pulley mechanism that would pull the shutters open and closed at the beginning and the end of the day. So you can tell on the second and third floor that the windows, at best, there are bars, or they're completely just open to the air. Yeah.
Is there a balcony or anything like that, like a terrace?
No, there's
On
little
the front side?
overhangs, overhangs to cover the windows in case it rains, and that way the rain doesn't come into the house. But there's no standing or walking out space or any outdoor chilling space.
I'm going to walk to the alley, and I'm going to go through it. Is there a back door?
You can get on the back side of the buildings, and since you're not pressed for time, you're not having to do this in a hurry, you can look at the place, go back out to the front, kind of gauge the distance, go into the back again, see which door might match up, because you got plenty of time. And sure enough, there is a back door out here into the alley, similar to the place that you've got going on.
How busy is it back here?
Well, the alley is pretty quiet. There's some local kids who are out here, and since you're the only other person around, they're clearly like, eyeing you from across the street, probably, or down the alleyway, probably like talking shit about you amongst themselves, as kids are wont to do. But they don't really give a fuck. They're out there playing with bottle caps or whatever.
I'm gonna go to the back door.
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel like I can do that without drawing attention?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go to his door if I feel like I can do that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try it.
Sure.
First.
This is a great opportunity to say that. Hold on. You just asked if you were going to draw attention to yourself, and I said no, because your actions aren't necessarily attention drawing.
Yeah.
But I don't want viewers or players to be to confuse that statement with there is zero chance that these kids see you and then report. Like, it's not a high profile action. It's not especially noteworthy. But if for some reason Mickey were to come and ask these kids, hey, did you see anyone back here doing something suspicious? They could totally report, right? But it's not a high profile action. I just want to set the tone for the level of information being shared. What were we going to say, Nick?
I just want to say, if these houses are sort of akin to what you would see, like I was describing our houses, like a UK terrace house, this would be, from this alleyway, there's likely like a gate and then a small backyard that'd be fenced or walled
right
before you get to the actual door of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm like opening the fence up.
In the area where you are, you've got these 2-story, 2 up, 2 down terraces with little backyards. This is a slightly denser part of the city with 3 stories and no actual yard space to speak of. But they're but a back alleyway where then there's like a slight overhang and then a doorway that would go in.
So
good calling out.
The door to his house is straight off the alley then.
Straight off the alley, but there's like a slight inset so you can step outside of the rain to do whatever you want. Yeah.
Porch, if you will.
That's the great
porch
word.
in America?
Yeah.
We have porches, but they usually stick out rather than stick
have like
in.
An overhang too.
Yeah.
I will I'll walk up to the door.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the kids are in the alley and I don't know, they're kicking a fucking ball around or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll try, I'll go
it's locked. Yep.
Okay. I'll give it a rap.
Like you're knocking on it?
I do 3 knocks and then I'm gonna are the kid before I do the knocks, are the kids fucking watching me? Or are they doing their own
head
thing?
back out. They're doing their own thing. They're not intently watching you.
I'm gonna give a rap and then I'm gonna immediately walk and go out the alley. But I want eyes on the door,
Yeah. You could knock on the door, you step back out into the alleyway, you find an excuse to turn around and look over your shoulder, maybe you pretend like you dropped something, maybe you bend down to tie your shoe, but no one answers the door within a reasonable amount of time.
I'm gonna, be tying my shoe, I'm gonna pick up the thing that I dropped, right? And then I'm gonna go back to the door, I'm gonna do a perception check from this door that I'm at right now. Can anyone see me? We'll give you a physical perception check. Okay.
Yeah, from the doorway, those kids could see you if they were paying a lot of attention. If you squeeze into the recess and squat down, they probably couldn't see you, but they could see that you had walked in there if they cared. But it's a big city. Someone's always. Yeah, let me do.
They can see that I walked in there. I'm just wondering if I can pick this lock right now with no one seeing me. At this current second.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a super quick doodle. We've got an alleyway, and then the door is ever so slightly recessed.
Got it.
And then the kids are up here on the top end. So from this squatting position in here, you could work on the lock, and they probably wouldn't see you. But if they walk down here, if you're out doing this for 15 minutes and they walk by, or anyone else comes by,
Okay, it's a shitty lock. I feel like I should be able to do this quickly is my guess.
Well,
I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna be on the perception check lookout for people coming, and it's just gonna come down to dice rolls. So let's try it.
Yeah. Well, first, give me I want you to roll your pick locks to judge the strength of lock you're working with here. The door is pretty old. It's not a piece of shit door. It's like an older, thick door. And the outer panel of the lock looks pretty crappy and old, but the light here is pretty dim, and it's hard to judge the interior of the lock. You know, it could be a shitty cover on a good lock. And you're going to sit down and you're going to try and work at this thing. This is not like oh no, you weren't there for that. Was a different campaign. Never mind. Yeah, so you set to work on this.
I'm going to tell you how much time I'm going to work on it right now. I'm going to work on it for about 10 minutes and see where I'm at.
And what's your lockpicking skill?
14.
All right. So you set to work for 10 minutes on this, and pretty quickly, maybe like 5 minutes in, you realize that this lock is way better than it would look on the outside. On the outside, it looks like a piece of shit common lock.
Got it.
But as you start playing with this and start feeling around, you can tell that this doesn't have the same qualities.
Perfect.
This looks like a really good lock, like an excellent quality lock that's been disguised or like inserted into a shitty door with a shitty cover on the outside.
I'm going to take out my tool. I'm going to put my tools away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give a peek. The fucking kid's still there?
They're quite a bit closer now. They've come down the alleyway, probably chasing a rat or something, and they've all gathered around a corner, and they're looking at something on the ground next to a wall, and they're in like a fervent conversation, but they're only like 30 feet away.
I'm going to put my shit away. I'm going to head back to the bar.
Okay. You get back to the bar.
Kind of explain to Luther.
Is Mickey still there?
Oh yeah, Mickey's still there. He's just in his drinks by himself, slowly slipping.
Okay.
I'm going to give Luther the entire rundown.
The lock's really good,
I explain that. Then I'm going to say,
but the second stories, they're open. You can just get through unless they're barred. But there were some fucking kids in the alley, so I couldn't go in. But if you want to climb it, you could probably get them away and do it.
But
when you
even if
get
we
downstairs, you need to unlock that back door.
even if we get in there, though, what are we going to find?
Well, the goal would be to get in, and then when Mickey goes back, we could follow him in the back door and spring our trap on him, because he won't expect it to be open. He goes in the front door.
Yeah, what are we gonna do with him?
I kind of shrug.
We kick his ass, figure out what he knows. Him and Nero talked.
Yeah, we could maybe get some information out of him. What do we do with him then?
I don't know.
Pigeon.
I didn't think that far. What do you think we should do? Kill him?
Well, if we don't, he'll tell on us.
Yeah.
But if we do, then Nero's going to get spooked.
Do you think this treasure's worth it?
Whatever's down there's got to be worth it. They're killing people in broad daylight for it.
Well,
Kind of sip your drink. I grab it.
I don't know.
Yeah, we've not seen Nero turn up here, no.
No.
Maybe he has the key. I don't know why he would, though.
Maybe he has the key. I doubt it, though. Nero's got to have the key. Or even worse, he could have passed it on to someone further up the chain.
What if we...
Kind of think.
We could take him to the Redcoats after we find out our information? Or we could tip him off about the guy, and then they could take him away so they wouldn't know it was us.
That's not a bad idea.
We
Have
beat
to
him
be quick,
unconscious,
though.
and we go and tell the Redcoats about him. They drag him out.
Yeah.
Then we'd have to handle Nero quickly.
Pigeon will start like going like this and shaking. I don't know. Not shaking, but acting weird.
Sort of bobbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, bobbing.
All right. You stay here. I'm going to go check out the house then.
Do you want? I'll say.
Do you want my silk rope?
Yeah.
I'll open my backpack, and I will pull out a silken 50-foot rope. It's
Okay.
a
That's
thick
my
rope.
character sheets.
It's 5 pounds.
You pull out 5 pounds of silk rope, hand it over to Luther. You're going to stay here, and Luther's going to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Mickey.
Don't break this robe. I really like it.
Sure.
All right.
I head out.
You head back to the house.
Let's try this a different way. I look at the house in light of what Pigeon was saying. I saw it in the dark last time.
Mm-hmm. It's dark this time
now
too.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see if I can identify what he was saying about the windows.
Yeah, they got shutters over them, but they definitely don't look like they have an opening mechanism. So you have to like push them open with your hand. Maybe barred, maybe completely open. Who knows?
Okay, two things. I know the houses around these areas. Do the windows tend to be barred?
They tend to be barred if you've got something you care about on the inside.
So given what he said about the lock, chances are this might be barred.
Barred, maybe trapped. I mean, we're dealing with criminals. There is a chimney. Yes.
There you go.
I'm not gonna
Santa Claus, motherfucker.
Ho ho ho, bitch.
There are very few chimneys that one can actually climb down. How Santa Claus gets up and down chimneys is part of his magic, because
it's a Christmas miracle.
If you look up a chimney, there ain't a lot of room there to crawl nowhere. It's not impossible, but yeah.
I go around the back of the house through the alleyway. Is there any kids here now?
Yeah, there's a group of kids there. They seem to have a rather large rat cornered, and they are kicking it back and forth between each other while trying not to get bit by the rat.
Yeah. How old are these kids? They're like kids.
Oh, they're between the ages of 8 and 11.
Oh, that's fine. I could take them then.
You could absolutely kill them.
You can just scare them too,
yeah. I go, what the fuck are you doing, you sadist bastards? Leave the poor thing alone. You don't see me go around here kicking you, do you?
One of the kids kicks the rat towards you. And it seems to be angry. It seems to be an angry, vicious, mean rat that's been cornered and beaten. It's got big teeth.
I push as many children as I have to give the rat an escape route.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty easy. You start pushing one kid, and the whole lot of them begin to bolt. And in the process, the rat books it, and the kids run, and the rat runs, and the alley's cleared.
Save the day.
Fantastic. Easy.
And yet, if it was a dog, you would be there kicking it with them.
I join in. Yeah. Good job, kids. Kick it harder. No, not really. Okay, I do the same thing Pigeon did to try and work out which door's which.
Yeah, you find the right door.
Okay. I cast a glance over my shoulder. How high up is this third floor window?
20 feet off the ground? Well, 25 feet off the ground.
Okay. And tumbling does what if I were to fall 20 feet?
Halves damage? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you fall 10 feet, you don't get any damage. If you fall from higher, I think you have.
You have
I'll read it
until
while you do it.
60 feet, yeah.
So it'd be 2. So even on max damage, if I pass my save, I'd take 6, and I'd be fine.
Yeah. You're fine.
Okay. I attempt to scale the... no, I look around. Is there other houses that back onto this alley from the other side that could see me if they were looking out my windows?
Totally, yeah. You're in a city.
There's no lights here. This alleyway, it's pitch black, right? So if they were to look out that window, they wouldn't necessarily notice me.
It's the winter sky. There's not a lot of starlight coming out, and it's the 18th.
It's because the gods killed the other ones.
So it's like 3 days after the full moon. So there's moonlight, but not very much starlight. And there's plenty of buildings around, and there could be anyone in any of those buildings staring you at any point in time. But that's life in the city.
Though.
Yeah, you're in the dark.
I'm in the dark. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I do it.
Yeah. In most situations, if you're in the city, there's going to be a chance that somebody is somewhere watching you, right?
That's fine.
There's always a shot that someone...
the chance that the person seeing also has the context and the connections to make it a problem.
Low.
makes it that's very low.
Gives a shit enough, right?
Yeah.
Because if you've been in a grocery store and you've seen someone steal some food from a grocery store or steal something from a shop, like, do you immediately go, "Excuse me, shopkeeper"? No, you keep your fucking nose out of other people's business and you go on with your day, right? That's how it happens. Right?
I get them.
So there's no one obviously watching you, and unless someone happens to be specially positioned, it's fine. It's fucking, who cares?
Climate,
Yeah.
man.
All right, I do some climbing.
All right, this is
It's assisted with a rope.
he has a rope, but that does not mean that he is
on the way up.
assisted with the rope. He would have to attach the rope to
Grapple
something
hook it
and
somehow.
then yeah. But for now,
I
he's
have
just
a lasso proficiency. Turkey.
This is a
Lasso the
brick
chimney.
wall. So normally this has a penalty of 8 for climbing, except it's been a few years of decay. So we're gonna say the -8 on the brick wall check goes down to like a -5 because it's kind of an older building.
Shit, I'm not gonna be able to do this.
All you need is a 21. You're not encumbered. There's no slopes. It's not wet. You're not wounded. So it's just like a -6.
But there's it's not just a 20-foot brick wall, though, is it? There's
that's true.
windows.
Right. This
other
isn't
stuff.
like the outside of a city wall. There's a window. There's a little bit of an overhang right over the door. Okay, so this is actually more of a modifier of 0 on your check.
Yeah,
Good call.
It's quite easy. Yeah. Okay, so I attempt.
It's okay.
You botch your attempt. You try and scramble up. And you can kind of start making your way up, but that rooftop that you were really planning on like getting your feet on is just got like slick moss all over it, and the cracks between the brick where the mortar is are kind of recessed, but like, you know, your boots and your sandals still don't fit in there very well. If you were to take some time, you could like, you know, chip out some handholds in this area and you could make it, but that would definitely attract attention. But a quick scale on this isn't going to happen right away.
Is there anything else I can do to warrant a second check or not?
You could try the front side of the
shoes
building.
off? Could I take my shoes off?
I don't think that would give you a plus
give
3.
me a bonus.
Yeah, not a bonus of 3.
It wouldn't warrant a second roll, is what I'm asking.
No. If anything, it would just give you a flat bonus
Little
to this
bonus,
thing,
yeah.
but not a 3.
I couldn't climb up a different house and shimmy over and warrant another check that way?
You could go down
A
the
better,
row of
easier
housing,
place, yeah.
find a better place to climb up, and then walk along the rooftops and then lower yourself down. That's totally legitimate. That's a great idea.
All right, that's what I'll do then.
Yeah. You walk down the block, you look for the best, easiest house. The house that has the greatest bonuses to your conditions. The one where the overhang has recently been fixed, so it doesn't have any of that like slime that's grown on it. But also like maybe the windows have horizontal bars that you can use as a foothold. You can find a house with a +4 bonus to the climb.
It's overgrown. Yeah.
It's overgrown.
All right. Yeah, it's a pass then.
With a +4, that becomes a 24. That is a pass. You can quickly scale up the building to the top of the 3rd floor onto the roofs. It's like a 30-foot drop from here. In some places, a 30-foot drop onto a wall. Some places, it's just a drop onto the ground. It's not great, but you can walk along it until you can see like, yeah, this is a spot. This is the building.
Yeah, so I think from up here, I might be able to open the shutters enough to check if there's bars on the windows before risking trying to come down the roof and climb in.
Yeah, you can. Do you have like a long thing that you can reach with, or is it just a dagger? Do you have like a regular dagger, not a throwing dagger?
I've got both.
Then I think you can lay on the roof, head down with your feet up, which is it elevates the heart rate. If you've ever been on a roof 2 or 3 floors up and hanging over the edge, perhaps to clean your gutters, that's a bit of an unsettling situation to be in. But you're a thief. You can manage it, and you can reach with your dagger over the edge and tug on the shutters and see that, sure enough, there does appear to be some sort of bars behind the shutters. Yeah. Looks like whoever this is, they are They are well protecting their house. Bars on the windows, nice, like excellent quality locks on the doors. This is no, random Joe here. This is someone who knows something about security.
So this wouldn't be your average gang member, Ethan. This feels like somebody more important than more important than Nero, perhaps.
Yeah.
What I would feel, yeah.
That's not an unreasonable assessment.
Maybe he does. Maybe he does have the key, though. Maybe Nero's giving him the key.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe
you should get back together so you can chat.
Yeah, I mean, I try and safely get down off the roof.
Yeah, you passed your check climbing up. You can pass your check climbing down. It's fine. And you can make your way back to the tavern. Yeah. New information in tow.
Mickey stayed the whole time?
Mickey stayed, but he's been joined by somebody else, a new drinking companion. And the two of them are just hanging out. Nothing special. They're not doing anything crazy. They're just...
And they're at the bar?
They're at the bar. They're socializing with each other. Yeah. By the time Nick shows up, I think there's probably even 3 of them there hanging out, chatting amongst themselves.
Did you get in?
Nah, the windows are barred. But, I'm thinking that you said that's got a better lock. He's got bars on the windows. This guy's... He's connected. He's got wealth. Maybe he's not working for Nero. Maybe Nero's working for him. Maybe he does have the key. Maybe he does have the key. We've got to be thinking about the risk here, though. Like, if this guy's connected, if he's high in the gang, then we're going to bring some heat if we do this.
We gotta not make him know it was us, then.
How long take it to get in that lock?
I don't even think I can do this lock, right, Koibu?
Nope. It's a 15 on the skill. No.
I can't even do it. It's like the other one.
What about if we could get his key?
And I could open the door, yeah?
You think you could get it off him? Like, do we see his key on his person at all?
I could absolutely not.
Just dangling on the side of his hip, but if you are a proficient pickpocket, all you need is a successful check to try and
you're not. Okay.
No, didn't spec into that at all.
No, I'm good with locks and net. I don't know how to pick a pocket.
So either of you know how to pick a pocket?
Not very well. I've got
not well.
Bonus of 6. What's your bonus?
5. It's not my job. It's not your job either. We don't need to pick a pocket.
What if
would be helpful right now.
It would be, yeah.
What if tonight we set up kind of outside of his place, and when he goes, when he opens his door, we rush him?
That's risky. No offense, but you're not much in a fight. This guy's connected. He could know what he's doing.
Can we get a double assassinate? Probably not.
Probably not. You'd have to approach him from the front and the back at the same time. Like, in theory, it could be done, but they would have to be
if he opened
pretty
his door
distracted.
And the door came towards him or whatever, maybe, we both could, if I was on the inside of a door or whatever. I don't know.
It's not impossible, but it'd have to be set up pretty carefully. You'd have to, approach from both sides and catch him in the middle, and he'd have to be, already have his guard down. If you're gonna assassinate Caesar and you just show up to him and you're like, "Hey Caesar, buddy, how's it going?" and he's talking to you, and then you fucking shank him, that would work. And if someone else is behind him at the same time, then you can both shank him. But he'd have to
I got an idea.
Yeah.
That gives me an idea. We kind of know these streets now. We saw the route that he was taking yesterday.
Do you think that we could, on the route home, stab him and toss him? Yeah. We both just kind of walk by him. He doesn't know what I look like, but it sounds like you're made acquaintances. So you go from behind, I go from the front.
What, and just kill him in the street? You ready for that, Pigeon? You're still a kid. You're out here killing people?
I'm just making ideas, but we're not going to be able to make rent this month. And these guys already killed someone on our doorstep.
I kind of shrug.
I guess you're right.
This guy's not a good person either. You should have seen what they did to my mom here.
Well, I saw once or twice.
There's no love lost for the Copperheads, right? Can you give us a little bit of like why they're shit people, or why they're good people? Why are the Copperheads good? Are they evil? Are they bad? What have I heard?
I mean, they're one of the 5 major local gangs in the area. They're from Copper Hill. They're here to stake out their own zone. If you wanted to be like pro Copperhead, you would say that these are people just struggling to get by in an area where they're already seen as outsiders and pieces of shit who are, preying on the city and using it for refuge when the city doesn't have time to support immigrants. If you wanted to be like super anti-immigrant, you'd be like, these fucking Copperheads are showing up. They're taking up our space. They're doing crime. They're stealing shit from our good citizens. They're fuckers and assholes, right? You'd play that route. If you want to say that they were good folks, you'd be like, well, they showed up. The whole country's in ruins, and they're here doing the same shit that everyone else is doing. They're just trying to protect their own. They're looking out for each other. They're gang members. But, like, so are these people, and so are those people. Like, the Pitmen is the local major gang. The Slayers were bodyguards or City Watch turned into thugs. Like, the Copperheads are just, they're locals just trying to survive, and it happens to mean that crime is how you survive.
I think Pigeon watched his mom get, fucking tossed around here a ton and come home with the fucking black eye every once in a while by a random gang member. Bastards. So I don't think he has any love for the Copperheads or the Copper gang. So I think that he thinks this guy is probably a pretty big piece of shit.
Oh, undoubtedly, yeah. Undoubtedly he's a piece of shit.
If one member of the gang is a piece of shit, every member of the gang is a piece of shit, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Theoretically, if we know the way he went home last night, is there an optimum place to kill him that's not like with minimal traffic / prying eyes?
Probably an intelligence check.
That traffic is not predictable.
Yeah.
No, but like an alleyway or something.
Do we think
he didn't walk through any.
He
didn't walk through any alleyways.
Thoroughfare, but he takes a shortcut through a park, or he takes a shortcut through an alleyway. No.
Was there a place where there's like a canal nearby?
What I'm trying to say is that if you knew the route that he was going to take for certain, you might be able to plan such a perfect ambush.
Well,
but you followed him one time.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, assuming he walks the same way, would there be an optimal place?
We've followed him now, I think, 3 times.
Because I don't know about you guys, but if I'm walking home from the pub, I'm walking the same route every time. I'm not taking different routes.
Yeah, no, I really do. I would say. So I will just say we've followed him now 2 or 3 times. Once when taking him home. Once now that when he left to go to his friend's house. Nick followed him somewhere else. I think there's been 3 times that we've followed him.
I followed him to Nero's.
To Nero's, yeah. And I followed him to Nero's as well.
No, I followed Nero to Nero's. But yeah.
That's what it was. So, yeah. 3
so he goes down the ring road, and he hooks a right to head towards his own house down one of the regular street for ways, and then he hooks a left at the next regular street, and then that's pretty much home down that block. So there's not any tight little alleyways that he goes down, but it is sort of a quiet place in the town, especially at the hour he left last time. If he leaves at a similar hour, there's not going to be many people on the street, but there's no like the most epic ambush point would just be a corner that he might walk around. And if you're hanging out, there's like a wall that comes up all the way on the corner, and you could be around the corner, and then he could come around it, and then you could just go.
So my idea would be, right, you act as a beggar and set up in front of his front door, and I follow him home, and then when he comes to unlock his front door, you ask him for food or ask him for money. He's going to be annoyed at you because you're outside his house.
He's going to get the fuck out of here.
And when he's interacting with you, I come up behind him, I shank him, he turns around to face me, then you fucking shank him.
I like it.
All right.
And then, well, no, that's a theoretical thing, because then we've killed him in front of his own house, which is not ideal.
No, agreed.
Because I'm thinking what we could do, if we kill him elsewhere, we could move his head. Or somehow disguise who he is, so it's not immediately identified that it's Mickey that's died.
I don't know about you guys, but going home from college, we had a dumpster, and we would always piss at that dumpster. It was the piss spot, right? We know where he's gonna go and piss tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like right outside the tavern.
It is right outside the tavern. But if we get him in an instant, you take his thing and you run, just like Nero did.
Well, we take his coin, we take his keys, and we run to his house. You just
grab his coin and key, and then you run to his house. We ransack it, and then we run out of there.
Like, right here, right outside of the tavern, filled with the Copperhead gang.
That feels like
that is a plan.
I think the plan. I think what I said outside of his house.
I think that's better. Yeah,
because maybe in reality, we probably can't disguise the body easily.
Agreed.
Yeah,
you know what? I think we just. Well. I think we're having this conversation quietly at the table.
Yeah.
What if we do him at his house and then drag him in?
We could do that, yeah. But there'll be blood on the floor outside in the morning. But if he's got the key, we don't need to fuck around this part of town anymore. We can leave. Lay low. Head to the place. We've got no reason to come back here, so.
What if he doesn't? What if Nero still has it? We know where he is?
If Mickey ain't got the key. Yeah.
We gotta get Nero tonight. As well.
What does that Mickey look like? Is he of similar stuff? Like, if I were to take his clothes, do I think that I could fool Nero for a small amount of time at his front door or something like that?
No, definitely not. You have way darker skin. You'd need to use like makeup to lighten your skin quite a lot. He's got long, straight black hair. You know, you said you're bald, right, Pigeon?
I'm bald.
Yeah.
What if I would?
So neither of you look anything like him. You know, you do have disguise proficiencies.
Yeah, but if I were to scalp him and cut off his face, could I sort of wear it as a mask?
My God, no.
You know, you've never tried that before. You've never made a disguise from someone else's face. You have no idea how successful that would be. It might work perfectly.
It's a joke. I'm not doing that, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. If he hasn't got the key, then...
If he hasn't got the key, then we got to go to Nero's.
Yeah.
And then it would just be like getting Nero inside. Something like that, yeah.
All right, we doing this?
Yeah. Worst case, this will get us by for the end of the month.
So you've got to go and pitch outside his house, then I'll follow him home.
I'll kind of get out of here and...
get out of my rope.
Yeah, I give him his rope back.
I check it.
The rope that you carry around your...
up, right?
No, it's fine. The rope that you carry around your...
This is the rope in my bag.
Okay.
I got 2 ropes.
Okay. So you're going to be hanging out as a beggar on his front porch with a backpack, probably at your feet or by your side, in your clothes that were just covered in poop a few days ago that you've now cleaned up and made nice as they can be. And you're just going to sit on his front porch.
The bandolier rope, and I'm going to kind of like put it in there. And I'm going to do the part. I'm going to take this, what I think would be seriously, of like, you know, make myself look a little nasty. I might, I'll make myself look a little nasty. Take a little
roll in the streets. Yeah. All right.
And I'll go and pitch outside his house and kind of just like have my hand there.
Okay. Dagger ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dagger ready. Not my throwing dagger, but my regular dagger.
Right. And Nick, Luther.
Yeah.
You're just going to wait for him to go home, and then you're going to stalk him home, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not going to try and follow him too closely. What I'll do is when he leaves, I'm going to leave a couple of minutes later, and I'm going to be aiming to, like, I'm going to go along a route, but walk fast, and aim to get back to his house, and as long as it's going to take him, you know what I mean? So I don't want to be, like, drawing attention, following him through the streets. I just want to be there when he's getting home.
Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful concept. But to time that is going to be tough, right?
It's not.
You can also
tough.
count on the fact that I'm going to be sitting there arguing with the guy for
It's not that tough. All I need to do is get to his house before him and with enough time to take cover.
Oh, I see. So you're gonna wait for him to leave and then hurry by a different route.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I thought you were gonna like try to follow him from behind so that you get to him at the same time he's getting home.
Just as long as I'm there, ready to strike at the time when he gets home.
Perfect. That's great. I love that idea. In this case, you're not even having to follow him. You don't need to check. Yeah.
Yeah. We just hope that he's not level like 6.
Right. Well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a copper at like my foot. I only have 1 copper that I was given when I was begging.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be asking,
All right. Well, you follow him. Well, you go, Pigeon, to his house and set up ahead of time. Luther, you hang out at the bar, drinking a little bit. I think between all of these activities, you're probably spending more on alcohol than you normally would be. If you have a silver to chip out for the extra expenses of spending so much time here, that would be great.
Yeah.
And then when he leaves, well after dark, you can leave well after dark by a different route, hurrying as you go so that you can get to the end of the street to see him approach. Now, are you going to be, if he's walking down the street, are you going to want to be waiting at the street? How do we say?
I want to wait right to a point where I'm around the corner, I can see him walk past me, and then I can follow him around that corner and get ready. Yeah.
Perfect. I don't know. Make me a hide check at plus like 9 or something. Something really big. Just don't fuck it up.
Don't. Okay.
Pass.
22. Okay.
We're fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Just don't
You
roll
said
one.
plus 9. You can't go back on it now.
I did say plus 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Sure enough, Mickey, Copperhead gang member, we think, walks past you, turns down left on the last block, starts heading for home. You can start coming up behind him, moving.
I start holding my hand out as I see him approaching.
Change.
Hey, you, he says, get off my porch. Do you know who I am?
No.
Get the fuck off my porch before you regret it.
Can I have some change first?
I'll change your face if you don't move.
Hey, don't come over here.
Kind of like cower a little bit.
He walks towards you and gets, up to the doorway that you're clearly blocking.
Give it to me.
He aims a kick at your knees.
I'm coming now. While this is going on. Yeah,
definitely.
This is the plan.
Okay. Nick.
Yes, sir.
To make this absolutely perfect with no questions, you're just going to need a move silently. If you fail, we'll have to see if he might perhaps turn his head or notice you. But if you pass a move silently check, it's a guaranteed assassinate in this situation.
Okay, fine. I will add that he is clearly distracted as per the plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
As per the plan, he is distracted.
Just don't roll 1.
Just don't. You put a lot of points in this, right?
I got 10 points in this.
Okay.
Well, do it well. Oh my God. Look at that.
Fuck yeah, we did it. Boom.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh boy, but now I'm gonna fuck up the attack roll.
All right. So he's
It's
standing over Pigeon, yelling at Pigeon to get the fuck off his front porch and move out of the way. Do you know who I am? Aiming a few kicks. Pigeon's doing the cowering thing, and then you have come up behind him in the still of the night.
And I'm shanking him.
And
Am I rolling?
you're rolling.
Am I rolling?
You're rolling at plus 4.
Come on.
It's a 10.
10.
It's a
hit,
It's a
though.
10. It's a hit. You will do times 2 damage on your die roll. Don't roll low.
8 damage.
8 damage.
when he gets that and he goes to turn, that's when I'm doing mine.
Yeah. There's a scream as your knife plunges into his body. I'm just going to bring him out over here to this page where the rest of us are so you can see. Yeah. One of you in front, one of you in behind. You did 8 damage to him. His HP drops.
Why?
You're asking me why?
Yeah, I'm asking you why.
He turns to you and says, "You!" as you stand up behind him and
shank him in the back.
Yeah, same attack roll.
Oh my god.
Missed.
Wait, that didn't count. We weren't ready.
Why
for
would that not count? Why would that not count?
No, it counted.
Because we weren't ready.
It was fine. It was fine. The first shank into his side, it's a great blow. 8 points of damage is enough to kill most people, but apparently Mickey's not most people. The knife plunges in, it rips him for a bunch. The bum gets up from behind him, goes to stab him, but like slips. Or maybe you go to stab him, but you stand on your coattails, and so you fumble your attack, and he realizes what's going on. And
Initiative?
Oh, wait, hang on. Do I get a bonus from level? I don't think it matters, but mine's +0, so...
It should be +0 until you hit level...
Why does Moot have a +1?
It's a great
Is that for
question.
throwing?
You should be getting a +1 at level 3.
Is that not for weapon proficiency? Do I not get that?
No.
Okay, then I'll take it out. Sorry.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to adjust your character sheet for a moment because this is all fucked. Here we go. Missile. So on the right side, you've got these missile... your lasso's a missile weapon, essentially. It's a thrown. Actually, it's a thrown,
The
not
lasso
a missile.
gets +2 from...
yeah,
I would...
but if you see
rope.
this, it's getting a +2 from your dex from missile already.
Yeah, but I also get a +2 from rope use.
Oh, on the lasso in addition to that?
And I get an extra 1 for... No, yeah, it's an addition. So I at least have a +4.
All right, so there you go. There's your lasso with 4, your dagger with 0, and your thrown dagger with 2.
Got it.
Perfect. Okay. This is the situation where we're going to need to roll for initiative because a fight is breaking out on the streets.
Dagger is 2, right?
Dagger is 2. Everyone's rolling at +2, so we can essentially all...
Nice.
Oh my god.
Mate. But they were never going to kill him. The guy's got like 40 health.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
does he? Yeah,
he's
he
like
knows
level
I'm there.
6.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think we might be fucked.
All right, Pigeon, Luther, you've got this
Who's
guy
behind?
pinned.
Which
I'm
way is he
behind.
facing?
He's facing Luther.
Okay.
Pigeon,
You want to go first, or you want me?
it doesn't
You go
matter.
first.
9.
No, this is only
That's
a
2.
7 now
Fine.
because he's no longer
Oh,
surprised.
fuck,
You just
yeah.
have back attack. So you go to stab him, but he's struggling, and so he's like throwing elbows behind him, and you're having a hard time getting around. Maybe your dagger like slices across his clothing or stabs into a part that's protected well enough that it doesn't do any damage. Maybe a prick here or like a paper cut there. Nothing to be concerned about. But Luther in front of him with all of his strength. Luther,
Yes,
you've got this.
wait.
This man.
I rolled initiative for dagger, but what I want to do is try and grapple him. Like, he's not got his weapon out yet, right?
Right?
True.
So I can make a grapple attack without taking an attack of opportunity.
But you rolled in for initiative with dagger, so we're sticking with it. Next round, you should do that.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, this is how
Crazy.
initiative works. Roll it.
Okay.
All you need is a natural 20.
16.
16's not bad. That's definitely a hit. You bring that dagger up overhand, drive it into his shoulder. For 3 points of damage. The man lets out a cry as he pulls out his own weapon and brandishing it will shove it into the gut of the man before him. A 19 is a hit for 4 points of damage. And we will roll initiative.
Is there some sort of dodge action?
Parry. +2 to
Yeah, I think it's just
AC.
+2 to your AC. But
Yeah,
it's a
so
no
roll
move
some side.
action.
I'm-
It's just chilling.
I'm gonna swap my thing because since stuff isn't happening, is that okay? Can I tell you what
You're rolled in for
I
initiative with your
wanna-
dagger, right?
I want to know if I can do this.
What do you want?
Would it be possible for me to use my rope and put it around his neck and go for like a choke?
Yeah, you can try to use your rope. That's fine.
All right, I'm gonna try to use my rope to put it around his neck and like choke him.
Yeah, it's going to be a 5 to the initiative because you got to pull it out of your bag. That's
Use
fine.
My other roll 6. I'm at 11.
Okay. Luther's at 11. No, I'm sorry.
7,
Pigeon's
I'm
at
I'm
11.
at 11. Sorry. Yeah. I got
All
this.
right.
Might have to run, Nick.
All right. Mickey goes first. And Mickey's action, we will provoke an attack of opportunity from Luther at +4 because Mickey is just trying to shoulder past you and run. Go ahead and make your attack. Right? Luther gets a different one because he's pushing into Luther. And then you might be getting an opportunity attack.
If he gets past me.
If he gets past me.
Yeah.
What's my bonus from this? Do I get
4.
a bonus? Because he's like kind of like a +4? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow, with the natural 2 though,
abandoned
it's
us.
so bad. He is just trying to shove past you. He doesn't care if he hits you or not. If he doesn't hit you, it's because you're out of the way. So this is just an opposed strength check if you're trying to block him.
25.
Okay.
Versus his 22.
Nice.
So he shoulders you to try and push past you. In the process, you go to stab him, but like his hand gets in the way. Your dagger attack is blocked. Were you rolling for full defense this round?
No.
No? Okay. Luther, go ahead and make your attack now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's bad.
These
It's so
rolls are
bad.
terrible.
Pigeon, you
I'm going for
put your dagger
strangle
away.
with my rope.
Grab the rope out of the bag. You're going to try and put it around his head and pull it tight.
And like pull it tight, yeah. Kind of like a garrote, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like
Attacker.
a rope, but a strangle here. So give me a D20. I'm going to say +2 because you've got a rope use proficiency.
Yep.
And then 2 for back attack.
Oh my god.
Natural ones
What is
after
going
ones after ones.
We've been rolling really well today, so.
I think
Yeah, well, this is what it matters.
you pull out the rope, you go to put it over his head, but instead of getting it on Mickey, like you kind of get it around both Mickey and Luther because the struggle is so intense and it's hard to get it in the right spot, and like slips over Luther's head, and you've got to like let go of the rope and start to like get it back in your hands, and he's throwing elbows at you the entire time and sort of like trying to keep the distance. I think
Roll
we
again.
have another round of initiative here.
Has he still got his
Three.
dagger? Wait, has he still got his dagger in his hand?
Yes.
Okay.
Initiative.
What do you want me to roll here?
What are you doing?
Same thing as before.
+3.
Thank you. I'm gonna roll my dagger and add 1. 8.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Luther.
I'm gonna roll big this time.
Dagger
10.
comes out, and that's a miss.
3 damage. Wait, really?
Dex.
That's a miss. Yeah, he dodges your attack. You go to stab him, and he like turns to the side. It slips past him. Did you actually hit him with a 10 earlier? No. I think maybe you did. Maybe not. I can't remember. If you did, it was a mistake. He's got 13 AC.
Oh, I did hit him with a 10, but it was with the sneak attack, so he will have been flat-footed.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had any dex. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
8. Initiative.
Pigeon, go ahead.
Okay. Here's my attack roll. You said it's at +2.
+2.
20 +2. 17.
There you go. You get the rope, you get it over him and around him, and then you begin to pull back, and I need a strength check from you.
The dump stat. 26.
Oh my god, it's
Yes.
great. You get the rope around his neck. But this is the 3rd round of combat here, and so people are beginning to notice. It's late at night, but the sound of the struggles, the shouts and the cries, you see a couple of lights beginning to flicker on across the street from you. You couldn't even see if the lights above you were coming on. It's too busy. We're in the middle of chaos, but you see lights beginning to pop on in other places and doors or windows beginning to crack open. Mickey was going to try and shove past Luther this round, but now he is being choked from behind. So his action, I think shoving past, same sort of concept as like an escape. I would want to escape this. He's being... Yeah, he's still trying to escape, so I'm going to just say a post-strength check while he tries to get his hands in and like loosen the rope. Or maybe he's trying to grab your hands and push them in the other way to try and loosen the rope a little bit. He's desperately trying to get his hand... He does drop the dagger to do this, though.
I was going to say, do you think that maybe provokes an attack of opportunity because he's giving up defense? No?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
No, because he can still
14.
sling arms and shoulders.
He's got a pass, I think.
He nat
Gets out.
20s it. He will get your hands as you're like trying to strangle him and like shoves them together and managed to barely slip his head out from underneath the rope, but he's lost his dagger in the process. We're at the end of the round.
Initiative.
It's time for initiative.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to try and grapple him.
Excellent.
I'm just rolling for movement because I think that's the same.
Yep. Luther?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, not Luther. Pigeon?
I got the rope out. I'm gonna do the same thing, I think.
All right. Okay, first one up is Pigeon. He's just slipped out of the rope, but you still have the rope in your hands, and it's not too hard to try and just wrap it around him again. He doesn't have anywhere that he can go.
I give an extra +2 for
Back attack.
back attack or whatever it is. So
Yeah, the same +2. Yes, yep, you hit. He gets no dex bonus because you're behind him. You wrap it around. Once again, now all you need is strength check to hold him down. If you can do this, then he's not going to be able to escape.
I got it anyways. Fuck it.
You got the strength check last time, though, didn't
I
you?
got it again this time. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been freed, so it's once again a contest to try and hold him down. But you've got him. He's held in
It's
place.
like he gets it out. He's like holding it up here, and then I like go down and it like
And you
comes
shove
back.
it right, and so now he's trying to like get his fingers in the rope and try and just like
yeah.
full brute force it out and away from his neck.
Yeah.
And
he's
it's his
struggling, so
turn.
he's losing air.
But he's not being constricted for a full round yet.
Not
He's
yet,
never
yep.
been choked. He's just been, or he's never been suffocated. He's just been choked. So this time he's trying to get out on his turn. Opposed checks.
17.
And once
25,
again,
he's out.
you get it tight on him, and he manages to pull it off, and the two of you are just struggling back and forth, trying to gain the upper hand. Luther, you're going to grapple him this round, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a flat
He
D20, is it?
to hit to grab him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
to
think
grab him and then a strength check.
considering the struggle and everything, I'll give you a +4 to try and grapple him. It's close quarters. He's fighting off choking attacks from behind. Oh,
Nice.
23.
hands on. You grab him. What are you doing with it?
My plan is to just sort of like I don't know if that's a
Make
bear
him
hug,
stop
but
fighting.
disable his hands and hold him still so that Pigeon can kill him from behind.
Perfect. Yep. All right.
Initiative?
So the situation, as we understand it, Pigeon, you've got a rope. It's trying to choke him to death, but he managed to like grab the rope and pull it off of his neck, and he's trying to slip his head out of it when Luther comes up and grabs his hands and starts pulling his hands back down around his neck again, and now it's this like deadly struggle.
Yep.
Okay.
Initiative?
We're going to step out of initiative here because it is now the
Okay.
two of you against him trying to just overpower him and strangle him to death. First, we're going to make a roll to see if any of the onlookers gets involved. Nope. Not
Why
this
would
round.
they?
Unlikely. Well, maybe one of the
Yeah.
maybe he's got gang
I'm a
members
hero.
nearby.
No, that's
maybe
true.
somebody knows him and knows if they help him and save him, they're going to get a fat reward.
They could.
Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe they hate this bastard.
What's your strength, Luther?
16.
Oh my god.
I'm at 8.
Okay, 16 strength plus
Get
8
his ass,
strength. That's 285 pounds. That's the equivalent of 18 strength. So we're just going to do an opposed strength roll. His against your combined, which is an 18.
18.
So
Okay.
You wanna
Luther,
roll it,
since you
Nick?
have the higher strength,
Yeah, I'll roll him.
beat a 21.
Yes.
Oh,
37.
absolutely. The two of you grab him. You pull him to the ground. Pigeon begins to pull taut on the ropes. The man kicks and flails. He does his best to shout. Luther holds his hands down as the rope begins to pull tight. He is struggling. His con is 12. Half his con is 6. Half his con again is 3. And that's the number. No, sorry. It's 1/3 his con is 4. Half of that is 2. So
rounds.
he's got 2 rounds to struggle.
And he's doing strenuous exercise, so it's halved again, right?
That was the
Yeah,
second
you have to.
halving.
That was the first
Oh, okay.
half. Yeah.
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 Okay. You just need to do this one more round. One more.
Okay.
He gets a 16. Don't fail.
Okay.
33.
Good job.
You push him to the ground. He struggles. His struggling grows weaker and weaker until it's just like a little bit of flailing. And then it's over.
I immediately grab his key.
Yeah, and get the door open.
I open the door, and Luther drags him in.
Yeah.
You're inside.
I think we start.
Whew.
Luther, I'll
Good
search
job.
him. You ransack and get what we can. We gotta be quick. We've been out here a long time.
So this is like a fast and dirty thing. I'm gonna search him thoroughly, but I think Luther's just gonna like ransack the place.
Well, I'm looking for the key.
Yeah.
If I find an obvious like office, that's where I'm gonna spend a bit more time.
Well,
I think.
The downstairs floor, living room, kitchen, access to the pantries below. You go up to the second floor. Second floor is clearly a workshop. As you open the first bedroom door on the second floor, you see what appears to be a thief's workshop. There are open locks that have been like cut open so their insides are out. There's a whole series of lock picking tools everywhere. There are practice locks of all different kinds and makes. There's documents with papers and writings and little notepads. There's a whole series of keys on a wall, each with its own label on them. It's actually like a treasure trove of locks, keys, lock picking tools, training tools, wax pads, files, soft lead keys that you could like file down to make a copy of a key if you wanted.
If I had access to this, could I raise my lockpicking skill?
If we skipped ahead in time, we could say you added points and you leveled via this process.
Got it.
But it would have to be time skips.
Perfect.
On his keyring, did he just have the one key for the front of his house and the one key for the back of his house, or is there a third erroneous key?
There was just a singular key that you found on his body.
Yeah. Do any of these keys on the wall here, like, say, lockbox or anything like that?
They have 3-letter codes written on them. They're not, like, clearly labeled as Nero's key that he just gave me. It is in some series of, like, coded ciphers, or maybe there's a ledger that tells you what's going on. We're in a quick and dirty thing here, and you've come across this room first. There might be other stuff. There's a second room on this floor, then there's 2 rooms upstairs.
All right, well, I do the rounds of the house first to try and work out where to prioritize.
Yeah, you go to the other room on the second floor, and sure enough, there is a hole in the wall that goes to an extra room on the next floor, or the building next door, but that building has been like bricked up where the doorway would be. This room appears to be some sort of casual meeting room. There's like a table with a little candelabra on it, some chairs, some glasses, some dirty dishes. The other room on this floor is a bedroom. When you go up to the third floor, it looks like a sort of a disused, empty attic space. It could be turned into a bedroom or something like that, but it's just sort of collecting dust in boxes, and there's crap. It would take you a while to sift through this stuff up on the third floor.
I head back to the workshop, and I want to glance through the documents on his table.
Yeah, there's a bunch of scraps of paper. There's some pieces of paper that have been pressed together and folded together. There's some ink and pen and coins and writing utensils, and there's all this.
I locked the front door.
Yeah, okay, so I immediately pocket any coins. I'm taking that.
Yeah, you grab these coins, quickly pocket them, but there's all these keys. Yeah. There's like 30 keys that are displayed on a wall, and then untold numbers of other keys in other drawers, and all sorts of lock-picking tools. Do you have a backpack with you?
I do have a backpack with me, but I think I'm going to spend time looking at the documents. I know the word redcoat, so I'm going to scan for that if I see any mention of the redcoats.
Excellent. You begin to scan the documents. Downstairs, Pigeon, you've locked the front door.
Searching his body and locked the front door.
You find some money on him. You find the key. He's got another dagger in one of his boots.
Do his daggers look nice?
They're like average quality daggers. Yeah, nothing to write home about. Let's see. He's got some small trinkets in his pocket. He's got like a cup and a set of like kitchen utensils with him that he carries everywhere. Some miscellaneous things here and there. Nothing too interesting.
Any rings?
No rings.
Okay. I take his dagger.
Mm-hmm.
I take the key. Assume that's the key for here. And I'm going to start destroying the downstairs, looking for shit. I'm giving it like, you know how the redcoats came and turned our house over? I'm turning this place apart, like looking for secret containers, looking for money, blah, 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 blah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Pigeon
You
is
start
tracking
ransacking the
downstairs.
place. Excellent.
You got a perception check or anything?
Let me figure out in my brain.
One magic item, please.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
34.
Ooh.
Nice. All right, that's a good one. You start kicking over things, looking under stuff, pulling apart pillows, knocking art off the walls, moving tables, knocking over whatever you can find. We'll get back to you in just a moment. On the second floor, Nick, you're doing this stuff. You're looking through these notes, and the desk that has like the notepads on it is sort of near the front. There's the window with bars and there's shutters, but between the cracks and the shutters, as you're searching through these notes, you can see that there are some people gathering out front. You can't tell much more than like there are some folks there because you're just looking through the tiny crack in the shutters, but it appears that there are multiple humans in the streets in front of the house. I don't know how this affects your decision. In the
No one's
meantime,
tried the door yet.
no, you wouldn't have been able to hear it from up here.
Okay.
Did I? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. You're looking for the word redcoats.
Yeah.
Give me an intelligence check as you try to page through these things very, very quickly. Oof.
Fuck's sake.
It's dark. Your reading's not that great. His handwriting is not that great. It does look like there's a series of codes and ciphers, and there's also some regular text here, but you're pretty certain that you didn't see the word Nero written on any of the stuff. Granted, you could also just sweep the papers into your bag and bounce, but there's nothing
so
apparent.
I think actually
Mhm.
what I'm going to do is like steal his keys, I think, and hope that the key is within this group of keys here.
Mhm.
Like, can I start just like piling keys into my backpack?
Yeah, you can just start scraping all of the office junk into the bag.
I'm worried about raising the heat of this action, but like killing this guy is already kind of
Yeah, it's already raised it. You might as well.
Yeah, so I think I just like steal the keys
All right.
into my backpack, and then I want to run to the other side of the house and look out the back window and see if there's anyone gathering at the back of the house.
Again, there's just the crack in the window or in the shutters, between the shutters.
Yeah.
But yes, you can look out that, and sure enough, there appears to be a couple of people in the back alley too.
We need to get out of here. So with my backpack of keys,
It was just the fully finished the proper keys, right? You're not taking any of the training locks or any of the other junk that's lying around. Just the full-fledged keys.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Wait, actually, hang on, quickly. The codes on the keys, yeah.
Yeah, the little pieces
Are
of
they-
papyrus that are like tied to the key, like you might do like a toe tag on a dead body.
Yeah. Is there a way to tell like the most recent one? Oh, so the codes will be on the key when I take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I take them all then.
Excellent.
Okay,
you
and
can,
then I run downstairs.
yeah, Pigeon, you've searched the downstairs. You made a 34 on your perception check. There's nothing on this floor that seems to be of value, unless you want to take his like shitty silverware and plates. It's not silver. It's wood.
Okay. Nothing of value.
Nothing of value.
Is there like a hatch to get the fuck out of here? Is there something?
There
to,
is
like,
a
basement?
downstairs cellar. Yeah,
Okay. That's good to know.
but who
Do I
knows if the
remember
cellar
seeing-
leaves?
Yeah, is there an exit from the cellar?
You did not
mean-
see one in the back alley, and you did not see one in the front streets. No, you don't think there's an exit from the cellar.
I think, Pigeon, we gotta go. There's people outside, both the front and the back.
How are
I
we
can't-
gonna get out?
Well, I tried to get in via the roof last time. We could climb out of the third-story window, climb onto the roof, and maybe use the rope to climb down from there. But it'd mean leaving the rope behind. But we gotta move. I think I've got the key.
I point to the cellar.
Could be a dead end, but check.
I'll check quickly.
It's pitch black downstairs. Yeah.
I can't see. Is there a light? Is there a lantern?
It's this point in time that you hear the first attempt to break down the front door as a shoulder slams into it.
Upstairs. Go.
Yeah, okay. I peer out the crack in the blinds, looking at the back of the house to see what these people are doing. My thinking is when they go up to the door to try it, we can maybe, because they'll be under the porch. That might be our opportunity to get.
Well, there's bars on the windows.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were thinking.
Yeah. So what do we do? We're kind of fucked.
So is there bars on all the windows, Neil?
Yeah.
The you said it broke into the second house.
Yeah.
But only like one room if it was used.
Yeah, and then it was bricked up, the doorway leading out that other room.
Oh, so it's just one room and you can't access the rest of the house.
Right.
We gotta go in the cellar.
What, like hide?
Well, what else would you do?
I don't know.
Like, we don't have to hide, but we can...
Shoulders against the door.
We could wait for like the back door to break open, and then we could try and sneak out when they come in. Like if we hide somewhere in the house, we wait for them to break in, and then we sneak out behind them.
There's no sneaking out and hiding in this house. I'm like pretty sure. We just need to run to the cellar.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah. Is there like a torch or anything, Neil, as we're running down?
Downstairs. Yeah, at the top there is a lantern that can be lit.
Okay, I'm gonna grab that lantern. We're gonna go to the basement, and I'm gonna light it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. In your rummaging around on the first floor, you did find a flint and tinder set to light the lantern. You've already searched the floor. Perfect. Yeah, you can light it. The two of you can head down into the cellar as the front door above you is getting knocked down slowly but surely.
What's down
and
here?
Voices shouting, "Hey you! Open the door! If you open the door, we'll let you live. If we break it down, we're gonna kill you." They're offering you amnesty.
Oh yeah,
They're
of course
lying.
they are.
Yeah.
You don't trust them?
No.
Okay. Downstairs is a cellar, very similar to your own. There's some shelving where you would store food grains back when there was surpluses of food, and you might have like a well-stocked cellar for all sorts of purposes. This cellar is fairly stocked, but he doesn't look like the sort of fellow to cook at home, if you know what I mean. So it's like jerky, apples, some apples, pickled things, candied things in jars. That's pretty much it. There's not much going on here. There is a dartboard set up with some daggers, some throwing knives set into them, and a dirt floor with a well in it, and
there's a well.
Yeah, some houses, some nicer places will have wells that you don't have to walk to a fountain to get water. You can just draw it from your own house, and this is one of them.
I wonder if the well leads out to another well.
That's
Does
our
anyone
only...
have a swimming proficiency?
No, I always take it though, except this time.
No.
Well, I mean, the well drops down, what is that? 25 to 40 feet down to the water below? I guess you're already 10 feet down. It's like a 15-foot drop to the water level. You'd expect.
That's not going to kill us, but it depends
Definitely
how deep the
wouldn't
water is.
Yeah.
It depends if we can get out with this well. Does it just go to the bottom?
You look down,
idea.
you can shine the lantern, tilt the lantern so it'll shine. It just looks like stone construction down to a water level. It doesn't look like there's any tunnels or passageways down in it. The door above.
What? I would like out of character. I guess I don't know. I really don't know.
What are we doing, Luther?
I don't know. I'm genuinely not sure. Is there any way to hide down in the basements? Is there a way out of the basements?
There you could start kicking over some of these boxes and crates and things and see if there's maybe like a secret way.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck up the basement. We're gonna see if we can find a way out.
Nope. Basement is looking just like a regular basement. There's a couple people in the front, a couple people in the back. Windows are barred. Second access, the access to the next room over, next building over, seems to have a bricked up wall.
Is there a window out of that room that's not barred?
There is a window out of that room, but like a smart thief who is protecting his home, it is also barred.
So we're pretty confident there's only 2 ways in and out of this house, and they both have people trying to break down the door.
All right. Yeah. My only idea is we go to the front door or whatever door they're trying to like barge down. We wait, and like as it's rhythmic, it sounds like when he goes to barge it, we open it and we fucking run. There is no, or we die.
That's big brain. I quite like that. Okay, let's do
Go
it.
upstairs.
All right, ground floor, front door or back door? Pick one.
Back.
All right.
Are they bashing the back door as well?
Actually, that's a great point. They have not been bashing the back door. They've only been bashing the front door. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good call.
Okay.
Good call.
Then front door.
All right.
And confirming there's 2 people out the front.
When you were upstairs looking out through the tiny crack in the shutters, you saw 2 people. But the shutters blocked like 99% of your view of the street. So maybe there's 2 people, maybe there's 50 people.
There's no way there's 50 people.
Okay.
Right.
I wait for the next one, and then I'm gonna throw open the door, and we're gonna run out.
Okay.
I'm gonna like jump over a guy.
I'm gonna jump over,
I'm gonna get the fuck out. Yeah.
I'm going to leap, tumble, and then sprint away. It's going to be amazing.
All right. What is the die roll to time the opening of the door just right? What is the timing skill? Is that intelligence? Is that wisdom? Is that perception? It's your sense of time, right?
Yeah.
I think it's perception.
It's absolutely perception.
All right. MrMouton.
Not me.
It's you.
Okay.
Make me a perception
Call it a
check.
16 here.
Oh.
Okay. 30.
Modified 30. You throw open the door just as the shoulder is about to hit it. The person stumbles in and hits the ground with a look of shock and surprise. You run out. Nick begins to run out too. There's someone else right behind this guy who's baffled that the door is open and this person's fallen in. And I'm going to need you.
Nick probably runs first because I'm opening the door.
Yeah, I think
he's
I
going
leap
immediately after.
leap
And he's gonna
past.
like.
Luther.
You're gonna
shoulder barge this guy out the way.
Yeah, you're gonna
strength check
him.
against this person who is 2d20. Keep the lowest one plus 12.
Okay.
Plus 12.
29.
Okay, good job, Nick.
Oh, nice. Against his 27. You shove past the person, and sure enough, there's a crowd here, but they're all a little bit back in the street, and everyone's taken by surprise. The 2 of you bolt. You get past the people that were right there. You begin to run down the streets, and we're going to have to enter into a chase. Because you're running. You're running like your life depends on it.
We've got a big head start on these guys, though.
You have at most a 1-round head start on these guys. It's not that huge.
Yeah, I'll say as we're running, we have a quote unquote 1-round head start.
You want to split up?
Yeah, I mean, back at home.
Yeah.
And we boom.
Separate directions. Excellent.
Yeah, I'm running to the right. I'm going towards that way.
Okay.
And my mind's racing.
He's going towards like the center of town, and I'm going towards like the abandoned area, and I'm going to loop back around through the abandoned area to home.
Yeah, I'm not going straight to my house either. I think his idea was to actually Pigeon is to go like where I'm going towards the ruins. I'm going to be in the ruins for a little bit, and then I'm going to cut back home.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That place was a fucking hellhole.
That was a good idea, though.
Yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah, it was good.
Fuck. These guys, like, I don't know. Are these guys chumps? That guy was not a fucking chump.
That guy was not. He was like a level 7 thief or something.
That guy was crazy. That's gonna be like a big
deal.
A big deal. That guy was someone.
I
How much health did he have?
I meant to leave a note saying like for Reginald or something like that, but I forgot to say it.
Fuck.
So they would have thought it was the Redcoats. I mean, they probably will think that anyway.
It's true. Fuck,
this is like so brazen for 2 randoms.
Yeah, it's crazy for 2 fucking randoms.
Okay, so there's 2 ways to be in a chase. There's either, like, I'm just going to outrun you, which is opposed strength checks, essentially.
Yeah, that's not what I'm doing.
Or there is, I'm going to try, actually there's 3 ways. I'm going to try and, like, knock something in your way to delay you or slow you down. That would be, like, your dex versus their dex. That's, like, I'm knocking a turnip cart in front of you as I leap past it and over it. That'll slow you down and I can pull ahead. And then there's the good old, I'm going to dart around a corner and throw myself into a hiding spot and hope that you lose sight of me. So there's
I've got
3...
a 4th way that I'm thinking, maybe?
Yeah, what's your 4th way?
Thinking
What's
to
your
use
plan?
my lasso to throw it onto like a chimney or whatever, and then rope you up, and then take it off, and then fly from like building to building.
If you were to throw a lasso up and begin to climb, your rope would just be hanging down below you, and anyone else would be able to follow you up from below.
Yeah, but can I unhitch it when I get to the top?
You'd have to undo their entire weight holding the rope. So there might be an opposed strength check.
If they like come and grab it.
Yeah, because they're coming, they're
just
climbing
I could
after
cut it.
you.
I could cut it.
You might be able
Just
to
a
cut
point
it.
to make here.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm running through a major city and I've got a minute ahead of someone, I've taken so many corners that they've not seen me take. How do they even follow me at that point?
That's a good question.
Hard, yeah.
It's really that would be the hiding approach. That would be the I'm just going to take a couple of corners and make a hide check and lay low. But then it's going to be your hide check, and then how do they respond?
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying
What do you
that if I can turn a corner 3 times in the first round, how are they following me at that point?
I think that would be like luck.
If you were in a really tight city with lots of available corners to twist and turn, then in that situation you'd be pretty good. We're in the slums of a major city, but as we talked about with some of these areas where we were near the Old Vic, for example, it's a pretty twisting, windy area. And near the Old Vic, you could easily get lost in a heartbeat. But in the area where the housing was, where there's those long rows, and remember, he only took like a right and then a left to get onto his main street. There's like long open streets here and there.
Okay. Well, for my goal, I think I'm going to try and sprint away then.
You're going to sprint.
Right?
All right. So
I'm
Luther,
gonna do the dex check away.
Well, let's start with Luther. Luther,
first, yeah.
give me your strength check. But actually,
perception check away.
don't roll it first. Here's how the strength check plays out. If you win, you gain distance between you and them, right? You've got a roundish ahead of them. So if you, like, let's say you beat them by 10, you're going to gain a shit ton of space, and that's probably enough for you. That's probably well enough. Yeah. If you lose, then they gain closer to you up until the 2 of you are side by side, right? So you have a round-ish on them. So I'm going to say that you have like 120 feet on them to begin with.
Okay, and each one you win by is what, 10 feet?
Once upon a time, I wrote down chase rules for just this purpose, and I could not find them when I needed them. So clearly, I need some sort of special note-taking software so I can find everything that I write down.
True. Just want to say that they both fell down, so they should also maybe lose half their movement, but maybe that's already taken into the account because we're a round ahead.
I think that's probably it.
Yeah, but there were lots of people out front. There were 2 at the door, but not all of them. Not all of the onlookers were just random onlookers. You're being chased by the other copperheads that had been gathered around to see what was going up, but not all of them were crowding the door.
Fuck. If we would have rolled well, Nick, this would have been sick.
If we'd have rolled well killing the guy.
Yeah.
If you had killed him quietly and quickly, would have been great.
If we could have got 2 good rolls on those first 2 attacks, we could have done it as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. This guy is living in a fucking fort, too. Fort fucking Knox.
Yeah, for real.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be 10 feet. So, Nick, you're looking for, roughly, 240 feet of space will be enough that you can easily outrun him. Yeah.
The more densely packed the place is, the lower number you need to get ahead to lose them.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and make me... Now you're splitting up. So half the people are following one of you, half the people are following the other one of you. So you don't actually need to pass that many. Or so you only have 2 people chasing you on each of you. So you gain a 24 versus a 28 and a 27. So you lose 30 feet to the closest person.
Nick.
So they're 90 feet behind you.
Next round.
Second round. Yep.
Oh my god. Neil.
Oh. You slip in the streets.
Sake, it's so annoying to play D&D when I constantly roll low. Can't do anything. Sorry. Carry on.
Okay.
You slip in the streets, and they're going to catch you. But we're going to flip back over to MrMouton before we resolve the rest of this. You're running through the streets. You've gone in a different direction. You're not just trying to outrun these people. You're trying to, like, take the most difficult route that you need to, like, hop over stuff or knock stuff behind you. And so it's going to be a similar concept, but you're going to be making dex checks.
Yep.
And I want you to make me a dex check as I grab their character sheets.
I run past an old lady with her walker, and I push her.
First person is staying close to you. Second person is beginning to lose ground. Second round,
I toss a...
you gain 30 feet of distance between the first person again. Second person closes back up to sort of
30 feet.
They gain up. So one person's 30 feet behind you, the other person's like 40 feet behind you or something like that. They're close, but they're not.
Natural 20.
Oh, it's beautiful. You do the right thing. You find a narrow street where there's some like people standing around over a fire, warming themselves by the fire, and you just leap over the fire into a nice tumble and roll on the other side, and these 2 people come round. The first one has to slip by these people, but they're kind of pissed that you're coming past them, and they protest. The other person comes to a dead stop in front of the burning, heated barrel. And by the time they slip past the people near the fire, you're gone into the streets, and they're never going to find you. But back on the other side of town, Luther, the strong man who should never have failed this, but happened to roll a 2 on a very important strength check, takes a slip in one of these unfixed potholes, hits the ground, and the footsteps of the 2 chasing him come huffing and puffing.
They shouldn't immediately get him, right?
They're around behind. He lost how much distance? 18 versus 31. They gained 130 feet, and they had already been gaining a little bit before in the previous rounds. Yeah, they're on him. They don't get to attack him this round.
Not both of them. Not both of them. Just one of them.
Just one of them.
Oh, that's true. One of them. The other one's actually not there yet, right?
Yeah.
Where are these rolls? You had rolled a... Oh, yeah, because the other person rolled an 18 as well. Perfect, yeah. So one person is on you. He's not actually touching you, but we're going to start initiative when he's within melee range. He doesn't have a weapon out. What are you doing, Luther?
I'm running.
Yep.
You're just going to get back to your feet and run? Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me...
If he wants to make an attack and lose half his movement, then fantastic.
All right, roll me a d10 for your initiative. Because you and he are both... Well, you're both rolling +3 on it. He's catching up to you. You've hit the ground with the slip, but you get to your feet just as he's closing. He's trying to grab you, but you're up before he can do so. And give me another strength check.
Here, Nick.
31.
Yes.
A good roll.
It's fine.
Okay.
He's just about to be on you. Just about, and you manage to get to your feet and slip away ever so slightly, running down the streets away from him. You've made a distance of 40 feet.
You should probably roll for the other guy to see if he completely falls behind.
Or if he just falls behind.
Oh my god, the other guy's gone. All right, it's just you and this one person. You've got a 40-foot lead on him.
Okay,
next round.
Let's go. 23.
Fine.
He's chasing behind you. Okay, this has been 5 rounds of running. Oh, you're doing another one?
Oh, I don't know. Are we not?
Oh!
No, wait, Neil. But you wanted to stop.
I did, but you rolled, so we were just going to do another round of chasing. And as you're making your way as quickly as you can, this guy's got like a last bout of strength. He pumps his legs. He, with a 20, he is going to get an attack to grab you. And if he can grab you... Well, first it's an attack to get a hold of you.
Even hit. Yeah.
He gets 2 and 2 for back. He gets a total of d20 plus 4.
Wait, where's he getting the +4 from? 2 for back attack.
2 for back attack, 2 for level, for all the other things. Don't worry about what his stats are. It's fine. He's going to try to grab you, Luther, and drag you to the ground. When with a 16, he gets his hands on your nice clothing. And with that strength check... Oh!
Nice.
He rips your jacket off of you. It just slides off the back of your shirt.
My jacket. That's
You lose your jacket in the streets.
It's okay. If we get away with this, I'll be able to buy a new one.
Back to running again. Strength checks.
Keep running. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous.
Goodness.
He catches you again. Stupid. He gets you one more time. 1d20 plus 4. He grabs you. Strength check.
Yeah.
Oh. He gets a hold of your shirt and you just rip it from his grip and he's chasing after you. Now we're gonna move on to a con check because you've been running for a while now. Everyone is starting to get tired.
Okay.
Nick, you are fucked.
We're doing
Nick.
Con checks now?
One con check. Because we are getting to the point where to see if anyone's still got the energy to keep fucking running at full speed. If he
Can Nick get a bonus because he's running for his fucking life right now?
No.
Okay.
All right. Tired. Exhausted. It's you and a single copperhead. Away from everybody else. You can feel that you just don't have the energy. Your lungs are beaten or are burning. You don't have the strength or the constitution to continue. What are you gonna do? He's gonna catch you. You can't run anymore.
Well, he's got +4 to hit. He's got +2 to hit. I can't fight him either.
What are you gonna do?
I genuinely don't know. I mean, I can't run anymore. Correct?
Yeah. Well, he will catch you, guaranteed. You cannot escape.
Do I have space to hide?
No. Here you've been losing or tying checks with him. He's right behind you, and you're running out of breath.
Can I ask for any options other than to turn and try and fight?
I need you to come up with your own options.
Well, I can't move away. I can't try and hide.
You can't outrun. There's no place to hide.
Try and throw something in front of him, or
yeah. What do you mean? Like you want to
But if I can't run anymore, can I try and impede him from following me somehow?
Maybe he can do a dex check to gain his breath back to run.
Impede him a little bit, but since he has more stamina than you, that impediment is non-lasting. Right? If he's running at ×3 movement speed, you're now running at ×2 movement speed. If you block him a little bit, it's not going to make it. You're only delaying the inevitable here. It's no longer an effective tactic to escape. He's caught you.
How long have I got ahead of him at this point? To think,
0
to do
feet.
anything?
0 feet.
Where
He's
is
here.
Nick at?
He's in the city.
Anything,
There's
right?
no time. There's no time. There's no situation. You're in the middle of a fucking street in the middle of the night, and you're running out of steam, and the guy's catching up to you, and you can't keep running. Your thighs are burning. He's on you. What are you gonna do?
Fight him and call him out.
Is there a house near me?
You're in the middle of the city. There's lots of buildings near you.
I will try and use my last bit of strength to barge through a door.
You're gonna throw yourself out a door.
Yeah.
Okay. Last strength check. Throw and pray that the door is not locked.
What? Yeah, or I pick a weak-looking door.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well. 20 and a 5.
Wow.
You get to the door.
Over 10 this time.
You put your shoulder into it. We roll the die. It's unlucky. The door is locked. You slam your shoulder into the door. It squeaks, it bends, but it does not break. And as you turn with your back to the door, there's the copperhead with his dagger out, looking at you. And this is where we're going to take
ready to fight.
a break. Because, as we had mentioned before our game started, I have to go walk my dog. I'm actually an hour late to do that. And so here's our decision. Do we have more time to play tonight, or should we just meet up tomorrow? Because I know it's getting late for you, Nick.
What do you
Can we not just do 15 more minutes right now, or not?
No, I need to go. I I tried to leave 15 minutes ago, and this was the last 15 minutes that we got.
Well, I'm not gonna play for like another hour or so.
Okay.
So maybe we just need to stop.
All right, we will meet up tomorrow to see the thrilling conclusion of this race, and maybe our character's campaign is over already. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine, right? It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
I'm kind of pissed off, to be honest. But what are you gonna do?
Oh, you got some bad rolls today, didn't you?
Oh yeah, what?
Yeah.
It's not just some bad rolls, Neil. It's not just some bad rolls.
Were they?
We're
Were they
looking at it
bad?
here.
7, 6, 5, 7. There's a 15. There's a 2, an 8. Okay, these are pretty. A 4. Oh my
I've
god!
got a +4 bonus on these guys and a 12 head start.
Yeah, you should have.
Lucky, man.
You absolutely should have beaten him, but sometimes the dice do not favor you. Sometimes they do, and now I don't know. Maybe it's a fight. Maybe it's a plead. Maybe it's a bribe. Maybe it's a beg. Maybe it's a. Maybe it's a surrender.
One gold.
Well, you should track, or at least come to a conclusion of where he's at. Is he still in Copperhead Gang territory? Is he in Redcoat territory?
Maybe, but also, I think in the heat and the of the situation and the running in the middle of the night, you might also just be in a part of the town that's not super familiar to you, and you can't track where you are. I don't know how important or how much you would actually know of your exact location in this moment, or how much it matters.
No, I was just getting at that you should know where he's at because,
I see. Right. Well, I gotta go. Yep. I'm gonna kill the VOD.